This is Damien Maffei from The Strangers Pray at Night and Haunt, and you're listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast, episode number 197. Tonight we're talking about Halloween Kills, which is currently streaming on Peacock, or you can watch it in the movie theater if you're lucky enough to go see it. I'm one of your co-hosts. We got Todd, Joe, Sam, and Steve. Girl and boys, how are you?
Big Todd, little Steve.
Little
God.
Steve, Big Joe.
How you guys doing?
Great.
I've been waiting to say that all week.
I know, I was like bummed we weren't recording on Monday because I'm like, I want to talk about this movie right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Stam and I just watched it for a second time as a refresher before we came on. So I am fresh and ready to go talking some Halloween Kills.
I'm ready too.
Definitely
Sam's bringing it.
Definitely the most anticipated movie, I would say, of the entire year. So
I've got my notes all right here.
Oh, all right.
No, I'm joking. It's just a notebook.
It's been anticipated for 2 years now.
Yeah, I mean,
COVID,
COVID shut it down and had the whole year to wait for this. And was it worth the wait? We'll see.
All right, we're all dying to hear what happened at the event, guys.
Yes, we had our event on Saturday, our signing with Damien Maffei, who you guys would know best for The Strangers Pray at Night and Haunt. And we, I went down early, set us all up. Speakeasy Donuts showed up with the Damien Maffei donuts, which came out awesome. You can check them out over on our social medias. I posted them on there, but yeah, I mean, she did a killer job on those. Yeah, the walk over there was a nightmare. It was Salem right now is like a zoo. It is the amount of people on there on Saturday was out obscene. You could not even move down the street. So that was an interesting scenario too, as Damien had to end up parking at our house because I told him, I was like, there's no way you're gonna find parking whatsoever. So he left his house, I think at 11 a.m. and it took him over 2 hours to get here from normally a 30-minute drive. Took him 2 hours. So I mean, thank you, Damien, for putting up with all that for sure. But yeah, and then he had his fucking massive suitcase with all of his signing shit that I graciously helped carry down the fucking cobblestone streets of Salem, which was a fun experience in and of itself. But I mean, Damien was amazing. Just such a humble, such a nice guy. He never complained once, always had a smile on his face, and was probably, I mean, I don't think we could have asked for a better person to host the entire event. But no, I mean, everything went off without a hitch. I would say a successful event overall. The signing went great. A lot of people came by. The funnest thing was, well, Sam, if you want to tell them, I'll let you jump in here. You said what you thought was one of the cooler experiences with Damien at the signing.
So it just made my heart happy because there were a few people that came in and they weren't even I think it's just being overwhelmed with Salem in general that your mind just isn't alert or aware. So they would come in and stroll around our table and they would see the banner. Damien's right there in front of the banner. They would see the banner, be like, oh, I love that movie. Look at the table, see his prints, and they're like, oh, that guy's cool. And then I would be like, he's right there. Damien's here. And they're like, what? Whoa. And they would just be so surprised by it. And they were like, I didn't even know you were going to be here. You're one of my favorite actors. They were just so surprised. And they were like, this is so awesome. I had no idea. And he's like, yep, that's me. Just so casual and just downplaying himself. And I don't know, it was just really sweet. Just everyone
Did
was
they buy
surprised
something?
by it. Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, the majority of the people did. There were some people, I think, who thought he wasn't charging for autographs, and then I'd be like, yeah, it's this price, and then they're like, oh, okay, and then they just kind of walk off. But it was great. It was a great event, and another great thing was people actually were interested in our podcast too, not just Damien.
Yeah, like no offense, Damien, but there were a lot of times they were like, we have Damien here, blah, blah, seen as blah, blah, known as la, la, la. And they'd be like, so your podcast is a horror podcast? Like, I love horror and I love podcasts. I'll check it out. And Damien's like, all right, cool. And then if anytime Joe and I weren't at the table, I could hear Damien in the back. Someone would talk to him and then they would ask Damien about the podcast, and Damien's like, oh yeah, it's a horror podcast, like take some stickers, take some, he would try to help us out too. It was so nice. And also, Joe, do you remember how old that kid was that wrote the letter to Silver Moon?
Yeah, he was I think either 12 or 13.
So Silver Moon Comics, the owners Leslie and Chris, they got a letter from this young kid who knew that Damien was going to be there. So they wrote this letter and they were like, can you please get Damien's signature? Because I'm not going to be able to go there, obviously. And so she kept the letter and Damien read it and like wrote back a letter to the kid or whatever. And it was just so cute. And then also there was another person who came by and they were like, oh, I've actually met you before. And Damien's like, oh, you have? Like, where did we meet at? And they were like, I was at the pool screening of The Strangers too. And he was like, oh, yeah, yeah. And he was like, you were a little bit shorter, right? And they were like, yeah. And I also have this wig on. And so I was just letting them talk or whatever. But then after they left, Damien told me that this person, one of his fans, they had met him before they transitioned. And they told Damien that he inspired them to just kind of embrace like themselves and go ahead and transition. And so Damien got to see them before and after, which I thought was really special, It was cool.
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, there were great fans coming in all day, and we really appreciate everyone that dropped by. We really appreciate everyone that had any interest in our podcast. People seem to love grabbing our stick. People were really excited when they found out our stickers were free, by the way, because I think a lot of
the
people
free stuff.
A lot of people thought maybe you had to pay money for them or something. So they're like, oh, wait, these are free? And we're like, yeah. I was like, oh, next time we're going to have to put up a sign that says like free stickers, I guess, and stuff. But yeah, we appreciate every single person that dropped by. It was a really great time. And then we had the screening. The screening went went well as well. Yeah, I don't know, Sam, you'll have to talk about that one, I guess, because I was up there at the end. I did the Q&A with Damien, which I was pretty nervous about. I don't know why, because like I had everything prepped and stuff like that, but I had never done something like that really before. But I think it went well.
Yeah, it went well. I mean, you're the one that was doing it, so
yeah. I mean,
you talk about it. How was it? Joe did great.
I mean, it was great. I mean, Damien was great. I asked quite a lot of questions. I would say the Q&A probably ran longer than I expected because we had a lot of audience questions. But yeah, I mean, he was very forthcoming. He was not afraid to knock on certain projects he's done and whatnot, which was great. Because I think people would just kind of be nice about it and not like be honest. And he was completely honest, completely forthcoming. About
what's his favorite movie that he's done himself?
He said, I think it is Haunt. I didn't ask him specifically, but Haunt really does seem to be the one he seems to gravitate towards. But he did mention that The Strangers Pray at Night was the one that changed his life. That is really what jump-started his career into horror. But I found it, he's so humble because like he kind of said he's like, like movies like The Strangers and stuff, he's like, I really don't even consider that acting because like I don't have any lines and stuff like that. But I mean, you still have to, do stuff like you still have to embody
move, you got your
character.
Eyes,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like how he
short.
Is though. Yeah. He can be very like self-deprecating. But that's just like the type of person he is. But yeah, I mean, it was a great event. We appreciate every single person that came out, and we definitely plan on doing another one in the future. So stay up to date with us, and we'll let you guys know.
So Steve, I'm not sure who were more at risk losing to Damien, either it's Joe or Sam, because Joe's gushing too, so
I think it'll be an
Toss up.
interesting.
menage a trois going on.
Right.
You know, like when you see those curls and those eyes
here we
and
go.
that smile in person, it's
Look
just,
at her, dude. She's like falling into. Oh my god.
it's just really life changing.
I could see it.
You have to you're gonna have to mop up the room later, Joe. Damn.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I'm concerned when I leave tonight. Just gonna light some candles, I think, and
You're gonna be
put
like, is
on,
that Damien's car in my parking lot?
Yeah.
Come on.
One more thing I want to know: how is the was it Maffei burger from the Crypt?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Crypt. They made the Damien Muffet burger, which was fucking delicious. Actually, I told Kaylee after, I was like, this is the best thing you've made, like, that I've eaten so far from them. Really, really good. They were very nice enough to bring all of us some food over during the signing, so we really appreciate them being a part of this too. And
So
yeah,
shout
I mean,
out
all
to
four.
the Crypt.
Yeah. No, definitely. Shout out to all four of our local businesses here in Salem: Cinema Salem, the Crypt, Silver Moon Comics, and Speakeasy Donuts. The four of them helped make this event successful, and we really appreciate it. And and Uncle Boogeyman, who is a local Jason cosplayer who manned the door for us, but he was actually Negan. He did a Negan cosplay for it. But we really appreciate all of them for helping make this a successful event. So thank you so much to all of them as well.
I'm so jealous. Like, I really wanted to go, but I couldn't, unfortunately. But they did announce over the last week that they're finally opening the border again.
Yeah.
So I will be able to come to the next event, and I will 100% do everything I can to make sure I'm there, because I was
hope
so
that you
like,
and Todd can come.
yeah, it would be totally awesome to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think if like we were to do it around here again, I mean, obviously, Steve and Todd, if you guys ever wanted to do one in your area as well, we would love to come down there as well. But, you know, if we were to do it around here again, I think October probably is just the best time to do it, just because of the amount of volume and the amount of people that come. So I think we'll definitely plan something for next October, at least in Salem. So yeah, save the dates, people, save for October anyway. So plan for that. And we've already been in discussion, not like with anybody in particular, but just amongst us, some people that we maybe would consider having as guests. So yeah, should be exciting, and hopefully we'll get another great guest for you guys.
It's awesome. No, I really look forward to being able to go next time. It'll probably be in Salem. I mean, my city's so boring. No one would fucking show up, you know? So that's a problem. But Salem's a great place, and I was planning to visit anyway. So that's awesome. Todd, what have you been up to in the last week? I guess nothing as exciting, but
Nothing. No, I'm not hosting any celebrities or anything like that, like Sam and Joe. Nothing, just normal sports stuff with the family, like softball, baseball. So nothing too exciting.
Well,
we just snapped our
that's
losing
like
streak.
That's exciting with fall season sports, though.
We did snap our losing streak for the girls softball, so that was nice. Big ninth inning, 5 runs. So gotta love that, and that's about it.
Awesome. Yeah, and I've been just decorating my house, watching a lot of horror movies. Plan to watch a lot more over the coming week, because now it's like pumpkin carving and that kind of stuff. So I watched.
I'm sorry, Steve. Somehow I ended up with 8 pumpkins.
Oh, damn.
Usually I get 4 tops. I'm like, when the fuck do we get 8 pumpkins? So yeah.
So how many of those are you gonna have to carve yourself?
All 8 of them.
Yeah, I figured.
You can do it, Todd.
Oh, my freaking wrist is gonna be sore for sure.
Carving pumpkins, or
right wrist for pumpkin, left wrist for
all right.
Amazing. All right, so usually at this time we do our question period, but they're 95% Halloween related. People I think are really excited about hearing our thoughts on Halloween Kills. I know I am excited to hear what everyone has to think about this movie, because it's definitely, there's a whole lot of movie here. But how about we go into what watch first? So anybody watch anything festive?
I think we all rewatched Halloween, right? 2018.
I did, yeah.
Actually,
Joe,
we
Sam, did you
didn't.
guys?
No,
yeah,
we didn't.
Is it still good?
It still holds up. Yeah, like the problems I had with it initially, I think everyone did, with the doctor kind of being like a little funky, and that's still an issue. But this time I'm like, whatever, I'm over it. I like it, man. It's like it's a good soft reboot. It's got a good amount of kills. It's great seeing Laurie. My big issue that I found this time around though is, and then it kind of bleeds over to Halloween Kills, is like Haddonfield isn't contained anymore. Like when they're at like a big restaurant and there's a lot of people and there's cars, it was just like, it seemed like it was a normal city, which hadn't, like the 78 version seems like it's like the true small town. And this one, it kind of took me out of it. Like I love the like mystery of the small town that Haddonfield was, and this one like kind of expands it too much. Not so much in the 2018 version, but it starts there. Um, yeah, it's fucking pretty cool. So I still like it. Steve?
Yeah, we're gonna rank the Halloween films, and I think it's gone up a little bit in my ranking. When you watch it years removed, your expectations kind of temper, and you just see it in a different light. And I really had fun watching it. Like it's a good reboot. Like there are a lot of shitty Halloween sequels, and I thought this was it was a good one. Like I enjoyed watching it. It's probably my fourth or fifth time since it's come out. So yeah, it's a good one. But for my what watched, I guess I'll start. Joe talked about it last week, and that's the Muppets Haunted Mansion, which is a 2021 film over on Disney Plus. And I thought it would be interesting for me to talk about it because Joe looked at it from a Muppet standpoint, whereas I'm more from a Haunted Mansion standpoint. Like I do like the Muppets, and I have seen a lot of their stuff, but they're not like one of my big like fandoms. So watching it from a Haunted Mansion standpoint, I think I have a different perspective than Joe had last week. So I watched it, and I gotta say, god damn, this is a good fucking special. Like I really enjoyed it. They reference pretty much every element of that attraction at some point throughout the movie, and they do it in really clever and funny ways at times. And I can see how somebody who isn't really well versed in the Haunted Mansion lore, I think there's a lot of jokes that might go over people's heads, and it's unfortunate, but I think there was enough for like people who aren't necessarily Haunted Mansion fans, but there is a lot for people who are, and I thoroughly enjoyed the special. Now it's not perfect. There are some jokes that didn't really land with me and stuff like that, but I mean, I'm also not the audience for it. It is made to appeal to both kids and adults, and I appreciate it. I really enjoyed it, and this is something I'll watch over and over again. The voices were pretty bad, like compared to when you think of the Muppets and stuff like that, but it didn't take me out as much as I thought it would be from it. So that was something. And a lot of really cool cameos in this movie, and a lot of them blink or you'll miss it cameos. So I highly recommend, if you're a fan of the Muppets or the Haunted Mansion, this one's to check out. So that's over on Disney Plus.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hey, are you going to talk about the Undertaker thing? I really want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I could. I'll do it on my next watch.
Okay.
He already had a vote, Joe. You missed out.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed it. So Sam and I watched Haunt, of course, for our screening. So I figured we could talk about that. I actually watched it twice because I watched it before the event so I could prep for the interview, and then I watched it in the theater. Got the theater experience, first time ever seeing it in the theater. And man, it's a really good movie. Like, and I'm not just saying that because we hosted Damien, but it's a great movie to watch, especially this time of the year. It takes place on Halloween, and it just like has a really great like Halloween movie vibe. Like it's a perfect one to watch every year. The characters are all like really good. Like even like, and Damien even expressed this in the Q&A that like all of the characters, even like there's one character who's like a dickhead, but like he's like a lovable dickhead. He's like one of your friends that's kind of like a dick, but like you care about him. And so like all the characters, like you do care about, and you don't want to really see any of them die. So they do a great job with that. And the storytelling is really good, as well as like there's this whole backstory with the main character and her abusive boyfriend and whatnot. So like there's like layers there on top of just a really solid I don't know if I'd call it like a slasher movie, but I guess like it's the closest thing I would compare it to. But and then there's like this whole interesting backstory, like about, well, not backstory, but like what is going on with all of these characters when we get the big reveal. And I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but obviously there's like this big reveal about what's going on like behind all of their masks, which, maybe we'll see more. I don't know. Damien said he can't really disclose, but he said, keep your eyes peeled. There might be something going on within the Haunt universe. I tried to pick it out of him during the Q&A, but he would not fully divulge. But keep an eye. It sounds like something may be happening with it, but it's a good movie, and I definitely recommend it.
Was it on your top 10? I know it was on mine.
I think it was I think it did make my top 10 that
It
year.
didn't.
Yeah. It didn't.
I listened to that episode on my drive not too long ago.
Okay.
Got him.
All right.
This is awkward.
Todd's the only one who had it at 10.
Oh,
It's a good
look
one.
at you,
I think I have it at a
Damien
3.5.
fans.
I think I have it at a 3.5 out of 5 over on Letterboxd.
What year was it released?
2019?
2017?
Was it?
2019?
I'll take a look.
Yeah, we were a
2019.
podcast, so yeah.
I'm gonna have to listen back and see like what I put over it.
I gave it a 3.5 too.
3.5. Yeah,
shit.
I think that's a pretty fair rating for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely better than Hellfest.
Good. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Would you like to talk on it, Sam?
I mean, I don't have much to add. Yeah, I've enjoyed watching it I think I've only seen it twice now. Some Damien fan I am, but it was good, and seeing it, and I think, yeah, because seeing it in theater, I don't know, I love watching horror movies on the big screen. It just makes it so much scarier. And there were even points in it where I jumped and I like kind of screamed, and Joe was laughing at me, but 2 thumbs up.
Nice.
2 boners up.
2 big boners for Sam. All right, my next one is a Shudder, class of 1984, which has been on my to watch list forever, and I've never seen it. And I saw it. I'm like, let's do it. This one is set in the 80s, and it's like kids pretty much run everything, right? A bunch of gangs take over the school, and they do whatever they want. The faculties, can't do anything about it. In comes Mr. Norris, who's like, from a small town. He's like, I'm gonna fucking teach these kids, blah blah blah. So he comes in guns blazing. But he starts pissing off the local gangs, right? So this one, let me go back, isn't strictly horror. I say it's more on the lines of like a Death Wish kind of revenge kind of movie. But anyway, these punk kids are like selling drugs or killing people. Mr. Norris gets fucking pissed off, fed up. He's like, I'm coming after you. So he almost gets this kid expelled. They end up raping his wife, which is a very bad scene. It's very out of place. And it's just, I hate those scenes. And then like the revenge starts. So I would recommend this movie if you're into like the 80s look and like the punk look, and then if you want to see like a really well-deserved, let's kill every motherfucker in this movie because they're pieces of shit, I think you'll like this one. So class of 1984 from 1982 over on Shudder.
Nice. I was going to talk about Hell Trip 2021 over on Tubi, but I really don't have much to say about it. It's a very generic slasher film about American students who go to Africa for a trip, and this soldier guy like hunts them down. So I would not recommend it, but if that's your kind of thing, check it out. But I do want to talk about the one that Joe mentioned. I watched Escape the Undertaker, which is a 2021 experience more than a film, over on Netflix. So The Undertaker is a WWE pro wrestler, retired now. He's been my favorite pro wrestler my entire life. He's the first celebrity I ever met outside of like local hockey people. And I've been following his career my whole life. So when they announced that they were going to do an interactive film on Netflix based on him, I got really excited. So in this one, The New Day, which is a trio of pro wrestlers also in the WWE, who really like, they have a lot of fun. They're like a really fun trio of people. So they go to the mansion and they have to steal the Undertaker's urn. And you choose your own adventure as to how you try to like get his urn and stuff. And like, obviously this is not made for adults, like older people. This is really made for like early teens, I'd say, would be like the target audience, kids. But it was still semi-enjoyable for like somebody who, but as a big fan of The Undertaker, there were some unexpected moments. Like at one point I had one of the guys actually enter The Undertaker's like lair inside the house, and he's not there, and all of a sudden he like pops out of the background, and he's like, he just made himself a sandwich, and he's just like confused as to how someone got in his lair. It's just, there's a lot of like really goofy, unexpected moments. They do a lot of references to Undertaker lore, like you see stuff referencing to Paul Bearer, his brother Kane, Kane's old alter ego Isaac Yankem. Like, there's a lot of really cool Easter eggs if you're a wrestling fan. If you're not a wrestling fan, I would say to skip it, because it's a lot of it is about pro wrestling, even though it has to do with this kind of scary, spooky thing. But I do love the interactive stuff on Netflix. It's the second one I've done. I did the Black Mirror one maybe 2 years ago, and I would say I had more fun with this one than I did with the Black Mirror one. Although the Black Mirror one was probably better, it was a fun experience, and I hope they do more of these things. Now that Undertaker's retired, I like that he's kind of just having fun with it and playing around with his old character and still kind of doing stuff. So if you're a wrestling fan, I'd say check it out. Or if you have kids and want to do something interactive that's not too scary, I'd recommend it as well. But if you're neither of those, I would say skip it. So that's Escape the Undertaker over on Netflix.
All right. I might check it out. We'll see.
It's like, it took 25 minutes. So
oh, okay. Well, that's nice.
It's
right.
not a big thing. So if you have a little time to kill, I think you should try it out. At the
All
very
right. I'll give it a shot. I love like choose your own adventure stuff anyway. So
yeah.
That reminds me of there was like a Black Mirror episode, right? That did that.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's and the thing that's good about this one is if you fail, like I fucked up twice, it's not like they make you start over. You can go back to like the decision before, kind of.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All right. Lovely. Oh, well, before we get into the next thing, I want to just mention that Sam and I finally found the Monster Mash cereal. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but very excited. I haven't tried it yet, so I'll give a verdict next week on next week's episode. But yeah, it's basically every single monster cereal combined. So like Count Chocula, Boo Berry.
That's dangerous sounding.
Yeah, I know. So I'm very excited to try.
Be a rainbow.
The box alone is awesome. That's like the main reason I even bought it, because we keep all of our Halloween cereals like year round on top of our fridge is just decoration. So, all right, Sam, you want to talk about the first episode of Chucky? I know we might actually cover like the entire series for this. We were discussing, but do you want to share your thoughts, Sam?
Sure. So it's been like 2 weeks since we saw the first episode, so my brain's a little foggy, but okay, so we have Chucky,
Jake, our main character, Jake.
Main character Jake, who I think he's like maybe a freshman in high school. He's a young kid. He is an artist, kind of on the strange side. He makes he's working on an art sculpture that's made out of doll heads, and it's pretty cool looking. It's like a sculpture of himself, but it's made out of doll heads. And his dad, played by Cutie Devon Sawa, is a drunk jerk pretty much. And you know what, Joe, I'm going to let you take this one because I pretty much forgot.
Quick question for you, Sam.
Yes.
Devon or Damien now?
Yeah, I was asking. I think Joe and I were talking about that. I don't know.
Right now. Devon, Hunter x Hunter, and Damien from In Real Life last weekend. Oh, it's a tough one.
Oh,
right, Damien.
Really
you heard
thinking.
it there. Sorry, Devon.
Oh,
Steve,
right.
Go ahead and cancel Devon for tonight.
No,
that's because she met Damien in person. Like if she met Devon in person,
I feel like they have the same sense of humor, though. I'm like, they would be fun to hang out with. Both at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Oh, all right, Eiffel Tower.
Okay, back to Chucky.
So, what's the premise with this show? Is it like?
So the premise is
a direct sequel. Let me answer that first.
Sort of, but we haven't entered that realm yet. From what I've heard, it is going to be taking place directly after the last Chucky movie, which is Cult of Chucky. But we don't really get this in this pilot episode. This pilot episode focuses just on basically this kid, Jake, 14, who it says on here he's 14 years old. But yeah, I mean, this whole episode basically follows how he acquires Chucky, which is he goes to a garage sale and Chucky's just there. We don't know why, really. They don't really explain it, but Chucky's just hanging out at this garage sale. I think he buys him for like $10 or something like that. And yeah, I mean, the whole episode is following this kid, Jake, who basically is an outsider. He gets bullied a lot in school. We come to find out he's basically like a closeted homosexual. And that is kind of like the main, like basis, I guess, of why he is getting bullied a lot. Well, one of the kids bullies him a lot for that, his cousin. And yeah, I mean, we follow him and we follow why, his outsiderness throughout and all of the bullying. And basically Chucky helps him essentially. Like we get to this like talent show where basically like Chucky takes over and whispers in Jake's ear and kind of helps out his bullying and whatnot. And I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but the way it kind of seems like it's going to go is Chucky is going to kind of train this kid, like almost to like, like mentor him to be like the next killer, or to like help Chucky kill.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good pilot. I will say that. Like, I was pleasantly surprised.
What? You hated it?
No, I did not. What are you talking about? I
You
didn't
were like, oh man.
No, I didn't like. My big issue was there was like only one kill and it was a boring kill. So I'm like, they could have did better if you're gonna like, you should have blew your load on a first episode with like an amazing kill or something like that. But instead it was like a very lackluster kill. I also did not like that Devon Sawa plays two characters.
Spoiler alert.
He plays himself. He plays the dad, and he also plays the dad's twin brother, which I thought was really fucking dumb.
Well, they're twins. I guess they work.
Right.
Does one have a,
yeah,
does one have
but
a mustache and one doesn't?
It's like, pretty much. Yeah, that's exact. One has
But
facial
Todd,
hair,
you know,
one
I
doesn't.
was in heaven too,
And
Devin.
you're like, oh.
But it was like it was a good pilot. I mean, we did not get like Tiffany or what's that girl's name? Fiona Dorff's character, or like any of the characters from the old
And Alex
movies.
is supposed to be in this too?
Yes, Alex does call at one point.
Yeah,
we
we
do
get a
have
phone
Yeah,
call.
we get a phone call from Alex calling this 14-year-old main character Jake, being like, where'd you get that doll from? Is his name Chucky and stuff like that? Like, be careful and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, you don't get a lot here, but you get enough character development in here that I thought it was a pretty solid pilot, and Chucky was great in it. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, Chucky was great in it. He looks good. I'm excited for it. I love it more than Joe.
Yeah, I think you do. I think you did like it more than I did, but it's still like a solid. It was still like a really solid pilot, and Chucky looks great in it. Like, he looks like the original good guy doll.
It's on USA or
really
Sci-Fi?
cool. Both.
Both. Oh.
It airs on
Weird.
both Sci-Fi and USA at the same time.
So let's get everyone to watch it so it doesn't get canceled.
Yeah,
Hey, speaking of getting canceled, Day of the Dead sucks ass.
I heard that.
Yeah,
Really?
let's get rid of that one.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And this week's Chucky episode is Halloween themed, so I think they go to like a Halloween party. So I'm very excited to watch that. Did you guys watch it yet? Either of you?
I thought we were going to review it, so I'm holding off.
Waiting.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, we won't. We'll talk about it again if you guys want. We can cover it in 10 weeks or whenever the series ends.
And just so people know, we talked about doing What We Do in the Shadows season 3 as a review, but I don't know if you guys have been watching it, but honestly, hasn't been great.
All the first episode.
Yeah, it's just there are 1 or 2 episodes I really like, but other than that, it's been really kind of okay. So I think we shift gears and decide to do Chucky instead. Because it's more towards horror, and at least hopefully there'll be more to talk about.
We can do what watched with Shadows.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can
so far definitely it's pretty. I don't know. It's just
like, okay.
I don't know if it's lost it or something.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad or anything, but
No.
it hasn't. It hasn't been like outstanding.
Yeah,
like
it's
was the first 2
enjoyable
seasons.
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But nothing stands out. Are we ready for trivia? Or is Steve
so.
thirsty for some coffee?
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for, and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
All right. Points are as follows. Steve and I are tied at 97 apiece because I believe last week we had a question, and Steve, it turns out, was like a microsecond ahead of Joe. So he tied it up. Joe, second place, 93. Sam, 65. This is game number 40.
I'm just glad I'm not all the way back at 35.
You're kicking butt. You're kicking a lot of butt. So who wants to go? Sam, first of all, do you have your questions ready?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Who wants to go first?
I also just realized we're ranking the Halloween movies tonight, so we're gonna have to
We,
do that.
we only said it like 4 times in the chat.
I know.
Where have you been? Go to
Yeah, I can
Letterboxd. It has a really
I'll
easy
pull
tool.
that together in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I can start us off tonight.
Do it, Daddy.
All right. Kayla did send questions, and I'll probably use one of them. But when I was rewatching Halloween today, I decided to pull out a couple of my own questions here, which I'm sure you
Mad
guys
TV.
probably already know them. I'm sure you already
Michael
written
McDonald.
down. Todd's already got it fucking written down in his little
Real
notebook
Housewives of
there.
Beverly Hills.
Okay, first question. What is the name of the road Michael's house is on?
Cherry Lane.
Mockingjay.
Mockingbird?
Yes.
Oh,
Fucking
that's,
Steve.
oh,
trying
that's
to
the
fuck-
monsters.
Yeah, right. That's
Oh,
right.
what did you guys think of? Speaking of that, what did you guys think of Rob Zombie's Big Monsters
It
reveal?
looks like the
Whatever.
Wish version of the Monsters.
The Wish version of the monsters.
I'm excited. You guys are haters.
I'll
I'm
check
good
it
if
out.
Sherry Moon's allowed to be corny because when she tries to be serious, it doesn't usually work. So she's like Baby from Corpses. I think it'd be fine.
I mean, is it going to be a horror movie though, or is it going to be a comedy? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Guess we'll see.
Yeah.
We have no idea what it's gonna be.
No.
No.
He's,
No, it's just- yeah.
he's playing a very tight, like close to the vest, the chest here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll
I'm
see.
curious enough though. I will check it out. That's
Yeah, for sure. Mockingbird.
No.
That's what
All
I
right.
said.
Now it's
Mockingjay.
mentioned. It is mentioned in this in Halloween Kills. But yeah. So
Big
Michael's
John Avenue.
yes, Big John, Little John. Yeah. No. What Michael's childhood house is on Lampkin Lane.
Poof, yeah, I would not.
I was close.
You were there. You had it. All right. These are from Kayla. A group of young people are guided through an abandoned radioactive area in Russia. What movie is this?
Oh,
Chernobyl
Chernobyl.
Diaries.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Joe?
Joe got it.
All right.
I only said Chernobyl. That's the show, not the.
Yeah, but who's the pop star that's in it? Josie McCartney.
All right.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a
Chernobyl Diaries?
decent film.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you sing us
No idea
a
who that is.
song? I don't even.
I don't want another pretty face. I just want you in your beautiful soul.
Hey, I've never heard
Alright.
that song or heard her
Yeah.
name.
You've never heard that song?
Is she the main blonde chick at the end?
It's a boy.
That's a guy.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
Never mind. See, that shows how much I know. All right.
All right, Sam.
All right. My questions also come from the lovely Kayla.
The Kayla Stir.
All righty. Mine are not Halloween themed. So,
Shocking.
who wrote the 1981 film An American Werewolf in London?
John Landis.
All right. Point for Todd.
Hey.
I think you and Kayla are working together.
Oh shit! Controversy.
Maybe.
Yeah,
She's working with anyone with Steve, Canadian love.
as we're getting closer to the end, some of the people sending us questions are like admitting who they're favoring.
Well, no one's voting for me because no one wants to see me three-peat. So, like, I kind of have, like, I have to
Yeah.
win, so I can be like, ha-ha.
Right. All right. So mine are all from Kayla as well. So thank you very much to Kayla. It's
Kayla.
all your favorite type of question here. Is a tagline.
Fuck. It's either that or a character name.
Yeah, I know. No, tagline. You guys ready?
Mhm.
Yes.
The scariest movie in Earth.
Oh, welcome to Earth.
The Cave.
No.
Oh,
Good guess though.
thank you. I have another opportunity if everyone goes.
The scariest movie on Earth
In
Shut up,
Earth.
Joe. Don't ask again.
and
Ah.
Earth.
In
In,
Earth.
in.
In Earth.
And
Scariest movie in Earth.
Don't you fucking say
is
it.
it as below, above, or whatever that
No,
shit is?
no, it's not. It's a great movie though, but no.
As
As above, so below.
As above, yeah.
I think that one's like the only way out is up or in or something like that.
Yeah, I
War of the
really-
World. War of the Worlds.
Wrong. Todd, you got it? I think
Sam,
you got it.
does Sam have a guess?
She did.
I already guessed.
Is it The Descent?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah.
That's what I was
I knew you had it.
thinking
Like
of.
Oof.
when you said the cave,
I was
I'm
nervous.
Like, oh,
I was
yeah.
nervous. Yeah.
Oh my
I-
god.
I was either Sanctum was
I
a cave
couldn't
movie
think of
or The
that.
Cave. The Cave's cool. I like The Cave.
Ugh, I give up.
Oh,
Joe.
Oh, I gave myself 99 points on accident.
Yeah. Whoa.
I was like, what the
Okay.
hell? I'm like, I don't have 196 points.
Yeah.
Is it back to me?
Or
Yep.
do you?
All right, there we go.
All right. All right. Be quick on this one, because I know you guys are gonna. I know you guys are ready for it.
Michael Myers.
Knife.
Dwayne. I don't know what Dwayne is.
Firefighter.
What is the name of the bat Tommy uses?
The fuck
Huckleberry.
Huckleberry.
I think Sam said it first.
All right, to the tape. But I'll get the same.
All right, to the tape. But yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure
the
Sam said it
correct,
first.
The correct answer is
I think
Old
I said. I
Huckleberry.
think I said fucking Huckleberry. She said just Huckleberry.
I'm gonna get you.
She's
But
coming for me.
yeah, it's actually Old Huckleberry, but I will accept
So
Huckleberry.
he'll. All right. What sci-fi horror film does a black hole unleash its evil upon the cast?
Oh, fuck. This is the end.
Incorrect.
The Hole.
Incorrect.
I know this movie, but I can't think of the
Channel
right
your inner
answer.
movie nerdness.
I know.
I left out the
The
actors from this
Core?
question. No.
No.
Black
Black-
hole
A black hole?
in
Oh, that's what
space.
it is, black hole.
I know of this movie, but I can't.
Everyone knows this movie because everyone's
Pitch Black? No.
Oh, is it? No.
Say it again.
What
It's a
sci-fi
big-
horror film does a black hole unleash sorry, its evil upon the actors?
I don't think it's Event Horizon.
You get a guess?
Yeah.
Attack from outer space.
Your guess is Event Horizon, Steve?
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, it is.
I
Damn.
don't remember that.
I don't either. Yeah.
Good job, Steve.
No, how do you not? What do you mean you don't remember that? They go in the black hole, the spaceship,
Oh, that's right. I just remember them.
or they go in a. She
You know-
might have.
because I'm thinking of Dead Space.
She might have worded this one a little bit weird, but
Yeah.
I think they go in a wormhole.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
Kayla, she has
Okay.
corrected us before, so I'm sure she'll correct us again.
well, I got the answer, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Steve's like, I don't give a fuck.
Right. Sam.
Alrighty. In the movie Predator, what substance conceals the character Dutch from the creature?
Mud.
All right, Todd.
Ooh, 100 points. Ooh.
On a
100
roll.
points. Brum, brum, brum.
I think
Damn,
that's
it
what you
took me all
finished
year
with
to get
last
that
year.
last year.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was a mercy point you gave me for.
Okay, so
fucking
it's
Orange.
confirmed.
George
Kayla
Romero
and Todd
question.
are working together.
I know.
All right. Tobin Bell said this movie was one of his favorite horror movies.
Ooh.
Saw.
The hand that rocks the cradle.
Oh, no.
I know he's in Saw, but I thought it was
All right.
a trick or something.
I'll give you guys a hint.
You
Once
gotta be
Joe-
a fan of yourself.
Sure.
once
All right, what's
Psycho.
Joe
No,
Psycho.
so it's a movie
Rosemary's
from,
Baby.
I'll give you the year. It's from 2005.
Oh,
2005. Hostel.
Hostel?
No.
Sam and I on the same page, so
The Hills Have Eyes.
that's 2006. No.
Okay.
2005.
That's the year I graduated high school.
Cabin Fever, I think, was 03, so that can't be it. Hostel was 05. He said no.
I'll give you guys one last pretty big
Oh.
hint.
All right.
You have something, Joe, or no?
No.
We mentioned it at some point during this episode.
Oh
This
shit.
episode already?
Yeah, so I'll give you guys one last guess each. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we mentioned
The
it.
Descent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe digging deep.
I was gonna say it, but I said I
Say it, Sam.
doubted myself. I was gonna say The Descendant. Isn't that a movie? Is that a Disney Channel movie?
That's
yeah,
the
it's a series. I
Descendants,
think.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
4 of them. I watched all
Yeah.
It's
of
also
them
the name of a
multiple times.
band.
But that's one of the kids of the villains, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I mean, maybe. Who knows?
it is. I watched them.
I watched the first one. It was really bad.
I've seen them.
I've seen them all. All right, who's that?
Believe
Joe.
me.
Back to
Joseph.
the
Yes.
last round.
All right.
Or Halloween.
Jamie Lee Curtis
Hmm.
dressed as her mother,
Psycho.
Janet
Psycho.
Lee. Hold on, folks. Jamie Lee Curtis dressed as
She
her
did
mother,
it to the
Janet,
premiere of Halloween Kills.
dressed
Yeah,
as
as-
her. Yes, for the premiere
On
of
a
Halloween
Saturday.
Kills.
A blue dress.
It was very nice.
Long wig.
Yes. It was a great tribute to her
A
mother.
million likes.
So my question is,
Marion
what
Crane.
installment of Halloween did Jamie Lee Curtis and Janet Lee star in together?
Halloween
it's
Show.
Correct.
It
I believe it was Todd.
was
Oh.
definitely Todd.
Great question, Joe.
Oof,
Thank you.
101, baby.
Well, that's for Kayla. That was my
That was
Kayla.
Kayla?
was that
That's a great question, Kayla.
All right, here's a classic one. I need 2 answers for 1 point. Two priests that performed the exorcism on Reagan and The Exorcist.
Father
Karras.
Karras and Damien. Damien. No, wait. That's the same.
Yeah,
No,
that's
yeah,
the same.
Karras and Father
Oh my
Karras.
god! Why do I always forget his
Is
name?
this even your question, Todd?
Yeah, they got one of them.
Father Karras and
Who's
Father
gonna get it?
Karras and Father Flores.
No, steal it, Sam. Steal it.
Father Karras
Father
and
Marin.
Father,
Father Marin.
Yeah, Mary.
Father
Yeah.
Downing.
No, Joe got it.
God, it's so obvious too. It's like
Those are hard. Those are the hardest ones. Sometimes.
Names, man. Fucking names are
Yeah.
like.
Okay.
Joe coming up on Steve's booty hole.
All right, better watch out.
I need to start drinking again. I really got to stop with this,
Unleash your power.
this water bullshit.
All right, Sam, what you got?
Okay. The Thing arrives at Outpost 31 in
Antarctica.
Antarctica
No.
as what
A
animal?
dog.
Dog.
Joe said it first.
Oh, you said
Thank you.
Todd first, motherfucker. You changed it.
But what
Todd,
kind
Joe.
of dog?
A
German Shepherd.
husky.
All right, Joe got it.
All right,
Yeah.
nice. Coming down to dog breeds now.
All right. All right.
I need to rewatch that. It's been a minute.
Oh, it's so good.
Did you get that figure?
Yeah, I did. The
McCready?
McCready one. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you get it.
It's pretty cool. The sculpt could be a little better on his face, but it's still a cool figure.
All right. So I did not know the answer to this, but I'm only giving you each one guess,
Oh shit.
and it's got to be exact.
Oh shit.
Cannibal
'cause we're-
Cannibal
'cause we're catching 'em.
Holocaust. No. It's because Cannibal Holocaust has how many unofficial sequels?
Oh, it's a great
3.
question.
2.
7.
You're all wrong. It's actually 6.
No, I was close.
Is Cannibal Ferox one of them?
Yeah, Ferox
She,
is
she
one.
didn't name what they are,
Yeah.
but I didn't know there were that many unofficial sequels. So
No.
that's crazy.
Yarn.
All right, Todd, point it out.
Okay, big night for me, big night for Joe, 4 apiece, Sam and Steve with 1, which brings our totals to me, 101, Steve, 98, Joe, 97, Sam, 66 for week 40.
I have a bonus question.
Oh,
Well,
boner.
scratch those numbers.
Okay. Out of everyone that was in the new Halloween Kills movie,
Big John, Little John. Who are the best characters?
out of everyone in the Halloween movie, who do you think
Doing a
reposted my Insta story?
I already know the answer though.
Fine.
Fucking
Kyle
cheating ass,
Richards.
Joe.
It's
right.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Your
It
witch
was,
laugh.
it was Anthony Michael Hall. So
Was it
shout
really?
out to
Cool.
you, sir,
Nice.
for liking the fans, for appreciating
All right,
us.
so my standings do stand. So-
Okay, wait. I have a bonus
Oh,
question as well.
never mind.
How many questions did I ask Damien at the Q&A?
Oh, yeah.
Sam?
Stop.
Sam doesn't even know that. She gets 5 points. Go.
Sam was sleeping. I saw her.
I was not sleeping. Don't lie.
All right. So, where we at Halloween Kills now?
Yep.
Let me find the official synopsis here. All right, Halloween Kills 2021. The saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode continues in the next thrilling chapter of the Halloween series. That was a terrible synopsis. It's like a tagline. All right, so this one picks up pretty much exactly where we left off in 2018. In the end of that movie, Laurie and her daughter Karen, as well as the granddaughter Allison, have trapped Michael Myers in the basement of Laurie's house. It's on fire. We got him. We win. And then the fire department's coming to put it out the blaze, and she's pissed off because she's in the truck. They picked her up. She's like, let it burn, let it burn. Before that, we're treated to a little flashback to 1978, where we are introduced to a new police officer character, and we have a little bit of Officer Hawkins, who is played by Will Patton, I believe, in the first movie and this one. And we get a little backstory of him and why he's so ornery in his old age, and that's like a pretty big plot point throughout this movie. So we're treated with a little flashback of what happened, because if you recall, the original Halloween 2 isn't canon anymore, so they had to retcon that and make a new Halloween 2, which is Michael is basically just knocked out and arrested by a bunch of cops, and Loomis is going to execute him. However, Hawkins, as a young deputy, prevents this from happening, and now Hawkins lives with it. Like, man, I should have just let Loomis execute Michael. This never would have happened. Fast forward back in 2018, 2019, whenever this movie set place, and Michael Myers gets rescued by the fire department, and then he goes on his rampage, killing all the firemen. killing cops and just going around town looking for more victims. I'll leave it at that because it's pretty straightforward. We're introduced to a lot of characters that come back from the original. We have a really cool, I thought, Dr. Loomis impersonation. That was great. But then we also had Tommy Doyle. We had, what's the little girl's name? I forget.
Lindsay Wallace.
Lindsay Wallace is back. The nurse from the opening in the 78 version that has her car stolen, she's back. They're all in a bar, and fucking Tommy Doyle, okay, I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm not getting into the bad stuff yet. Yeah, so I'll leave it at that. So what did you guys think?
Okay, well, first I have a question before we get into it. So Joe and I saw it in the theater, and Steve and Todd saw it at home.
Nope. I saw it in the theater. It's not available at home in Canada.
Steve saw it in theater too?
Screw it again.
Yep.
You've ruined my theory then.
What do you think, that people that saw it at home didn't like it as much?
I really do think that affected it a lot.
I heard that
think
theater goers were like laughing hysterically at like a lot of the bad stuff, and no one took it seriously.
Not at our
probably
theater
not all of
anyway.
them.
Yeah, not all of them. I will say my opinion changed after I watched. Like, watching it in the theater was a different experience than watching it at home. I think that's a fair assessment with any movie, though. Just because it's on a bigger screen, everything's louder, but I will say, yeah.
For me, it's opposite with like movies like The Conjuring. I'd rather them be watched at home because there's like zero distractions. I can turn off all the lights. There's no like usher walking around. There's no people chewing. I'd rather watch like a scary movie at home, but big like spectacles of Michael Myers would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. All righty, that's all. I'll zip it for now.
All right. I guess I'll start us off here because I know this is going to be quite a discussion. God, I didn't love 2018. I still thought it was like a decent enough movie. So my expectations going into this were none really. Like, I was excited for it, but like I was like, we'll see how this goes because I didn't love 2018. And I'm glad I watched it a second time, honestly, because I had mixed feelings on it, and I needed to see how I felt after a second watch before I gave my full thoughts. And this is a mess of a movie in a lot of ways. But there's a lot to like here too. Like, so I leave myself very conflicted in a lot of ways. There's things I like in this, and there's things I dislike a lot in this.
Start with the likes. What'd you like?
Okay, so I loved the opening to this movie. I love the flashback scene with going to 78 and seeing Michael walking around town and getting some backstory with that, and seeing Loomis was awesome, and I think they did great. Like, I thought everything was really, really cool in that flashback scene. So I love that. And then we get to we flash forward. I loved Michael going fucking ape shit. In general, Michael is the star of this movie. Without Michael's rampant, obviously Halloween Kills now makes a lot of sense for that title, because Michael goes on an absolute fucking killing spree in this movie. And without that, this movie is trash, quite honestly. That saves this movie for me. If Michael just kills 5 or 6 people, this movie would have been, in my opinion, maybe one of the worst in the franchise. But the brutalness, the unrelenting, he's like just so brutal, so unrelenting, does not give a fuck in this movie, and I love it. Like, it reminded me a lot of the Rob Zombie version of Myers in a lot of ways, which maybe that's why people are really hating this. But I loved it. I love the brutalness. When I go into a slasher movie, I want to see as many kills as I possibly can and as brutal as it can be. For me, that's what makes a slasher movie, and that, to me, that is what saves this movie, is Michael Myers alone. Now there's a lot of bad, like the this movie is shockingly, the writing in this movie is shockingly bad.
Why don't you save the bad stuff? I think we got a lot of bad stuff.
Okay. But yeah, so I'll just say acting and writing, very poor. Michael and cinematography, flashbacks and stuff, great. And I'll leave it at that for now.
So overall, you enjoyed it though?
Mixed. But overall, yeah, I guess maybe a little more enjoyable than hating.
Samsonite.
I'm overwhelmed with emotion. Okay, so just to remind all of the listeners, I'm not one to be super demanding of a horror film. I know that that's stupid because it's like, oh, if you're a horror fan, then you should be. So I just take the movies as they are and move on with my life because it literally makes no sense to take a big steamy shit on it. Like, they don't care. They're billionaires. No one cares about your opinion. No one cares what you're writing to your grandma on Facebook. No one cares. But you're going to care about my opinion.
My
No, I'm
grandma
joking.
cares.
Okay, so I was really excited to see it. I didn't read much about it just because I wanted to be surprised, didn't want any expectations. And we also saw it like in a Dolby Cinema theater. So it's like super loud. The fucking seats vibrate. And guys, I was afraid for my life. Michael Myers is my absolute favorite, and I have not been afraid of him in such a long time until this movie. I like screamed, I jumped, I said a lot of like, oh damn, oh shits, oh hell knows. And I was just like, Michael, are you a little too brutal for me right now? Like, this is a little too brutal, which I loved, but I was just expecting, I was like, if someone walks out of the theater, I wouldn't be surprised. I liked all of the kills. Like, I loved it until I started seeing everyone else's opinions ripping it apart. And then I told Joe, I was like, am I blind? Like, what did I miss? Because I enjoyed it. I know that it seemed like it was cheesy for people, but I have my whole theory of why they're like still hanging out with each other and all of that stuff. But I wish Lori was in it a little bit more. I liked the kills. I liked the flashbacks. The score was amazing, which duh. But I really enjoyed it. And I will say, watching it at home, it changed not my opinion about it, just like the feeling of it. I was like distracted at home. Just the kills didn't come across, the sound didn't come across as well as it did in the theater. And I don't know, I feel sorry for whoever watched it at home because
You got to get the sound system, girl. We all know that.
well, I don't have that, Todd.
Get
All
it.
we have is just a TV.
No, that's where you're doing yourself injustice. I would definitely
No,
not.
like I want to no,
to watch
like the
these at home
screen
if I
was
didn't.
so big. Literally, it was like I was in a dark ocean and Michael Myers was like Jaws swimming around me the whole time. That's how I felt watching it in the theater. Like, it was
He's
such a
coming to get you.
cool, scary experience. But at home, I was
I'm
just
glad
like,
you had a good time.
meh.
Like, honestly, like, I'm glad. Like,
Yeah.
just because people have different opinions doesn't mean it's bad or good either way, right? I'm glad you had a
Yep.
good time, though. Steven?
Steven?
Feels like I'm in trouble. Yeah.
Joseph.
Stop chewing.
Yeah, so it's basically the same feeling as what both Sam and Joe said. I had a good time watching it in theater. Michael Myers was such a fucking delight in this movie, like his brutality and his unrelenting, just psychotic nature, and it was just awesome to watch. I love the kills in this movie. There's just a lot about him that I really enjoyed, but like Joe said, everything else was just riddled with fucking problems. It's almost like this was like a fan wrote it, like just someone put it on the internet and they're like, oh, we'll pluck it out of there. That seems like a good Halloween film. It's like fanfic almost. It just, a lot of it didn't work. It felt very forced, very just too much pandering and too much fan service. And yeah, there were just a lot of issues, but I still came out like having had a good time watching it, despite a lot of issues, which we're going to get into. And I know this is kind of the way it's designed to be, but it felt like half a movie. It's really clearly the second of a three-part story, and that kind of hurt it a little bit too, because like Laurie felt pointless in this movie. It's like she phoned this one in, but I know that that's maybe by design. But anyway, but I don't want to get into the bad stuff yet. But overall, I enjoyed myself watching it. Just there are a lot of issues with this film.
Yeah, I mirror all that stuff about Michael. He was like a fucking avalanche, he was constant. I really I dug that. Absolutely. Like, I agree with Sam. This is the most imposing he's been since Rob Zombie's versions. No one was safe. The old dude too, that he was just knife, got a knife, stabbed him. I'm like, damn, Michael's fucking crazy right now. But it didn't save the movie for me. Like, Michael Myers is great, but like I said, so many issues. But I wish he would have tore Cameron's head off, like literally tore his head off, because that would have been so cool. Because he deserved it. Plus, he was wearing a skirt the entire movie, and that sucks for that character because they couldn't change your pants. But yeah, my good is Michael Myers and the flashbacks, like you guys said. And I like the actor that played Homeboy has made a couple movies. I know, Joe, you saw the Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Oh yeah, that's
Cummins,
right.
yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, so I really like that actor. I don't like the retconning that they did in the flashbacks, though. Like Hawkins, like, why are we caring about him? They could have easily done like a Sheriff Brackett, even though they had him in this movie, I know, but he was more of like a look at we got Sheriff Brackett in this movie. So I didn't like the whole like Hawkins is the worst fucking shot of all time.
Everyone's the worst shot of all time.
I know, but like
movie.
literally, Michael Myers has the dude and he's over his left shoulder, and then Hawkins shoots the cop in his right shoulder. What? Like, well, it's stupid. That's just a minor nitpick. But I would have loved to see more Loomis, and it felt like a lot of this should have been in the first movie, because and we can get into problems now, is like one of my main issues is like the story stops so often for the character to tell another story. Like, it was so jarring to me. Like, I have it written down that like 9 times in this movie someone stopped to tell a story. Flashback, then you have Tommy Doyle's yearly speech, which Tommy Doyle in this movie seems like an attention whore. Like, he's going to the party every year and killing the mood by doing the same speech. I'm like, Tommy, get over yourself. You're not special. All you did in the first movie is run like a little bitch. Laurie took care of you. Shut up. And then we got story time with the Johns. I hated the Big Johns. I hated Little John. They were so out of place. Like, I did not understand. Like, their lines were so stupid. I got this knife. Well, I got this knife. Shut the fuck up. The other one. And then we go to another story. Stories with Laurie and Allison. Then another story. Lonnie. Why do we care about Lonnie all of a sudden? He was nothing in the first movie. They literally had Loomis saying, "Get your ass away from there, boy." That was it. And we had a little Easter egg in the first one where Cameron is like, the Lonnie's his dad. I'm like, well, that's a cool throwback. But now we have to make him a main character, like a main side character. So we got his story. Then Laurie and Hawkins. Hawkins literally got stabbed 4 or 5 times and then run over about 45 minutes ago in the time lapse in this movie, right? And then he's in the bed with a little fucking patch on his neck, and he's talking like nothing's wrong, and he's spitting game at Laurie too. Hawkins is a tough motherfucker, but like, seriously, we thought he was dead in the first one, right? And then Cameron finds him and he's bleeding out. Like, he's fucking bleeding out. His fucking vein is pulsing, and then he has a little patch. Then we get another story time with with the 2 Big Johns again. We're back in their stupid house. Oh, and we caught the initial scene as him dancing to his record was fucking dumb. And then we go back to Hawkins, who tells another story. All right, so that's my story times, 9 story times. And then we have the morgue. Hospitals are not run like that. You do not have access to a morgue with dead, naked bodies. And you allow the mother of the child in the first movie to walk by and see her dead son, where she doesn't know where her son is, but she's allowed to walk by the morgue and peek in. Oh, that's my dead son. What? Give me a fucking break, filmmakers. I got 3 stupid lines here and then I'll stop. I'm not going to stop. I'm on a roll right now. We're looking for people that care. Shut the fuck up, Tommy Jarvis. Shut your fucking mouth. Because the cops just lost like 4 deputies. You don't think they don't care? We need your stupid baseball wielding ass. And he's walking around like he's the toughest guy in town. Shut the fuck up. Once again, you didn't do anything. You were like 6 years old. Shut up. The boogeyman is at large. He's an apex predator. Once again, shut the fuck up. And my last stupid line, let me take his head as he takes mine. I forget who says that. I think it's fucking Karen. What does that even mean? She's gonna go down swinging, I guess. Like, and then the standout stupid moments I put down here. Hawkins, once again, he's stabbed a bunch of times. He's fine though. The next scene, trying so hard to make Tommy Doyle tough. And then there's this one scene where Laurie literally had open fucking stomach surgery, and then she's like running around town, and she like falls in the hospital, and like her guts are almost hanging out. And then the very next scene, she's like, in that scene, she's like screaming and shit. And the very next scene, she's brooding at the door again. Like, she's like, fine, perfectly fine. I'm like, what's going on here? Yeah. And then I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I'll
No,
stop.
I love it.
I
Keep
love
going,
this
Todd.
rant. I love this rant. Go ahead, keep going.
No, and then okay, I heard the argument and I understand that. Okay, this is kind of like from Michael's perspective, like we're the monsters to him. Fuck you. He's a serial killer. No, I don't like that. And we're looking at the stupid the poor fucking lost soul, the asylum guy that was being hunted.
Mhm.
Are we serious? This guy's like 5'4", 350. Michael's 6'5", 200. We're confusing these two people? Are you fucking kidding me? And we're doing a chant? I'm like, this movie, like, I know, to touch on what Steve said, like a fan wrote it. I would argue that someone that had seen the movies and thought, oh, it would be better if we did this. Not a fan at all. Like someone that just thought they can do better by throwing shit in with kills and then like making it a joke. Because like he turned the whole story, in my opinion, into one big joke because Lori was mistreated or mishandled. I don't give a shit about Allison. Like she's supposed to be the new Lori, right? But it's like I don't care about her. I totally forgot about her. Karen is like thrown away, and then now we have a new subplot where he likes to look through his sister's window. When did that happen? So like everything added to this movie to change it, like completely ruined it for me. I was on board when I saw the first one, like, oh, all right, they're gonna do a new trilogy. That's cool. And then when they made this one, I'm like, you know what? The true trilogy is still gonna be 1, 2, and H2O because this new direction, it fucking plain sucks in my opinion. So rant complete. Thank you for letting me speak.
No,
welcome, Todd.
that was great. Can we, man, one of the silliest scenes in the whole movie too is, well, first of all, like Laurie's dialogue in this at times is just downright like ridiculous. And yeah, it's so, what a wasted opportunity. First of all, we don't get like one scene with her and Michael like at all. Like he could have like at least shown up to the hospital or something.
Did you hear about
or,
the final scene that was supposed to be shot for that?
No.
So spoilers, I'm obviously don't listen to this if you haven't seen Halloween Kills, but at the end when Karen is killed, Lori was supposed to call Karen. Michael's supposed to answer her iPhone and breathe into it. And that was supposed to be their scene. I'm like,
okay. I mean, honestly, I would have accepted that because it would have been like a callback to when she called Linda in the first movie there, and Michael's breathing like over the phone.
Okay.
So
he's
would
working
you know?
iPhones.
But and it wouldn't surprise me because like
Selfie with the body.
I agree with the fan fiction thing Steve said, because that was when we left the theater. That was like the first thing I said to Sam was like, this felt like a fan fiction movie in a lot of ways. Because like, my God, how many fucking characters can you from the first movie can you cram in here? And they're also like unfucking necessary, and they're obviously terrible actors, like all of them. Like it's like, and they all have their fucking like one-liners, like, oh, hey, Michael, it's Halloween. Everyone's a tell the one good scare, Brackett's little thing there. I'm like,
yeah,
really?
he's a good actor too in the first one. It's like,
Yeah,
it's the line. It's the line.
right.
For sure.
And honestly, the nurse, I mean, she was just terrible. Like, get her out of there completely, please. She's not necessary whatsoever. It would make sense for me that Tommy and Lindsay are hanging out 40 years later, but now they're hanging out with the fucking nurse that they like probably never met in their entire life.
But wait, okay, I need to pop in. Okay, you guys are not forgetting how it is for small towns. In real life, they would totally be hanging out because Lindsay and Tommy, Tommy's trash. Like he totally turned into white trash. Sorry. Which I really hate that they took it that way, but whatever. They would totally be hanging out and also with the nurse. Like if I was a victim of Michael, I would do the same thing because I would understand with her. Like I would be connected with her. So yes, I would be hanging at the bar every Halloween watching Tommy's speech. Like it's small town. People like some people get stuck in a small town and that's like their family, that's like their life. So that is realistic to me. Like
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I second that. That's they could have a support group outside that we don't know about. So that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
Except for Tommy
And
saying the
maybe
same
they're not
fucking line
hanging
every
out all
year.
the time, but it's probably their like holiday that they meet up once a year just to stay in touch and see how everyone's doing. Like that is
All right.
totally believable.
Hey
to
guys,
me.
watch me do this speech again that you've heard for the last 30 years. I'm going up.
Okay, whatever. I'll accept that. But Tommy Doyle single-handedly almost like pretty much ruins this movie. His character is fucking awful. I hate everything about the Tommy Doyle character in this movie. I can see why they didn't bring back the original actor because they made Tommy Doyle like basically like one of the main characters in this movie, and that whole fucking storyline is awful. Like there's not one redeeming thing about that storyline. The evil dies tonight thing worst fucking thing. Like it is like I rolled my eyes and cringed. I'm like, who wrote this? Like like it's just like they fucking said it so many times. It just became like a running joke.
That and the boogeyman. They said the boogeyman constantly.
I mean, I'm okay with the boogeyman shit because like he's basically taken on full boogeyman role in this movie, which I dug. But my God, and then like Lori fucking like doing her fucking injection on herself, like she she takes like the fucking adrenaline and is like, ah!
That was a fuck ton of medicine. I'm like, she's gonna OD.
And they would not leave. They wouldn't leave the vial in the room.
It was right next to the morgue, Sam. It was right next to the open morgue. They're just allowed to go in and out.
Yeah,
but it's a small town. It's a small.
But it wasn't a small town anymore. They blew it up. They have an Olive Garden now, so it's legit.
Wait, do they have an Olive Garden?
I just assumed in the first movie they're in an Olive Garden.
No, Todd, come on.
Oh man.
Well, and you guys have to think, like, even us fans, we talk about Michael as pure evil, the boogeyman. So why can't they talk about him like that? Why is that so cheesy? Which I get what you're saying, but I'm just asking, like.
But would us in the same group keep saying that for the last 40 years? You got to look at it like that way. Like if we were all 4 of us survive Michael, we would be like, hey man, remember the boogeyman? Oh yeah, fucking do your speech.
Yes,
Tommy.
because you don't want to say his name.
I was like fucking Michael. Hey, we should go execute Mike. I don't know. I see
but
that.
But also with Tommy's character, like I know that people aren't a fan of Tommy and how he was in the movie, but there are literally people like that everywhere who don't ask questions and just assume and charge and attack. And it's like, that is real life. I'm just saying.
No, I don't think the mob mentality like storyline was like a terrible idea, but it's just the way they executed it. Like it just was executed like shit. Like they could have done a good job with it, but it just did not work for me at all.
It reminded me of the mob in The Simpsons. Like that's how ridiculous the mob was, you know, like they're fighting over essentially nothing. And when they're chasing that guy, that like other
5'4",
the inmate.
That made me so sad. I cried when he jumped.
See, but I thought
I laughed.
That guy probably did something too, right? Like he was in that facility. He was
on the prison bus.
I mean, he's on a prison bus. I mean, who knows what that guy did? So.
Yeah, but he was obviously like mentally ill. Like
right.
They just had so many aspects in this movie that they were trying to, which I get because it's like real time, especially with Halloween 2018. It was all about how Lori has survived this trauma and how she's like a survivor. So it was like focused on the trauma, which I get because that was still big now. But I mean, that kicked off a few years ago. Now it's like the mob mentality because everyone just wants to like attack, cancel, don't ask questions. So I get where they're coming from and why it has happened like this, but I also get what you guys are saying where it's just like a lot.
I laughed when one of the characters was like, "This is for Dr. Loomis." Like, why the fuck do you care about Dr. Loomis? Like,
that's one of
my. That was the nurse. Yeah. It was Loomis's nurse.
Was it the nurse? I thought it was a black lady.
Yeah, no, it was Loomis's nurse.
Oh, my bad then.
Yeah, they mentioned Loomis 10 times in the movie. And it's just like, is he really that big of a deal? Like when you really like as an audience, yes, because we saw him in so many movies, but to this town, like what did he do that is so deserved for one guy who killed like 5 people in how many 40 years ago?
That's what the 2018 guy said too. Remember the boyfriend's like in the realm of things, this isn't a big deal anymore.
Right.
No, exactly. Like there are way worse crimes out there that but this one for some reason endured, and it's odd. But yeah, they do mention during that exposition dump walk that they do in 2018. Like it was like, okay, we're gonna have this walk for all like the trailer quotes. So that's when they talk about him not being the brother and all that. Like it's like the expo dump walk, I call it. Terrible.
Yeah, it would have been. There's a great movie in here too. Like change a couple things, and there's a solid story in here, And yeah, why not? If they're doing the soft reboot, why not take him to the hospital? There's a fucking 100 people there. You want to do his rampage, do it there. That'd be really cool. Yeah, overall, like this is actually the most fun I've had this year watching a movie because, my wife's not a horror fan. She's watching it. We're just cracking up at how is this real? Like, did they really think this is a good idea? And you would think they would because these horror guys are like legit horror fans. They got their podcasts and stuff like that. over at Blumhouse and stuff. It's like, I don't know who they were trying to please with this, because
Sorry.
No, go
I
for
mean,
it.
Fans. It's
Which
like
ones?
the demanding ones, because if they didn't include everything, then someone would complain about it.
I don't. Yeah.
But it's like, give me 1 second because I
Go
had
ahead.
a really good point. Todd had a great point about all the storytelling. Like, now that you talk about it, it is like we're on a roller coaster, but then someone's like, oh, wait. And it's like, okay, yeah, I got it. Let me go on this. Let me go. But I feel like they just had to include everything because the younger audience that is going to be watching it and growing up with it, like they just have to include every little thing for the new people to the franchise. That's not that I'm saying that's okay that they did it, but just playing Michael's advocate here, okay? Blumhouse's advocate.
Yeah, I mean, this movie felt like they were like, okay, Halloween 2018, we have a great end. We have we have our beginning. We know what we're gonna do there, and we know what we're gonna do with our ending. But we're gonna make this a trilogy. So what the hell are we gonna do with the second movie? And they just were like, let's throw in all of the characters from the first movie. They can all come back, and we'll throw them all in there, and it'll be great.
But I think they thought that the fans would like it. I think that they would think that you guys would be like, oh my God, this is so cool.
Yeah, if it wasn't cheesy.
I know.
Make it better. It always comes down to the writing, and the writing.
So who do you think?
Good.
So who read the script and was like, this sounds great, let's do it?
The guys.
Honestly, I think they underestimated the horror fan here. Like, I think they were like, oh, if we just put in all of the characters from that first movie, the fans are gonna come in their pants and they're gonna love it. It was like a fan fiction. But
you're underestimating me, huh?
But the problem is that horror fans are smarter than they give us credit for, and we still want a good story and a good movie, and and like, I mean, I get it in a way because, like, okay, at the end of the day, this is a slasher movie, right? Like, and we've watched a hell of a lot worse 80s slasher movies, and people fucking praise the hell out of it. But I think
because there's not a history behind them.
Yeah, right.
There's not 40 years of movies.
I also think that time is over. Like, the 80s slasher movies are over. Like, we demand better now from our horror movies. I think most horror fans do anyway. And I'm hoping after this movie, like, they'll kind of realize that and do better. At this, and probably, I know Steve say shake his head because we probably won't, but
no, because the movie's doing super well in theaters. It's doing great on Peacock, and if you go on Twitter, people are like, they're giving this movie a hand job. So I think Blumhouse, if anything, is going to see this and be like, oh. So that's what they want. They just want us to essentially reference, everything as possible. Just put it all in there and please the fans, right? And
they're all dead now, though, right? Tommy Doyle's still alive.
Right? Well, Lindsay's alive because he just walked past her.
How did Tommy die? I forget.
Tommy got killed by Michael in the mob, like with the Iron Woman.
The Iron.
She was out there ready to knock Michael with the iron.
I'm gonna say, like, hey, this is America. Go back to your house and get your guns. Like, don't come out with your fucking irons. Like, come on. Stop shooting Michael in the stomach.
No one could hit him anyway. Though.
Shoot him in the head.
And if you do kill Michael, literally seesaw his fucking head off and seesaw that into 4 pieces, and then eat it, and then take a poop, and then Michael will be dead. Okay.
Sam, do not exactly what my wife said.
Exactly. I told Joe, I'm like, literally shred him to pieces.
Yeah, she was like, wait, why are they stopping? Shoot him in the back of the head. Cut his head off.
Cut his arms off, cut his head off. Yep.
But no, it was the ambulance driver all along, and he escaped just right before. And that's
I was waiting for them to pull some shit like that.
Yeah, me too. You guys want to get into the questions?
Yeah.
Sure.
A lot of them are Halloween related, so I'm sure it'll spur some more discussions. First series of questions from Lil 3 to me. She says, "What is your favorite horror movie remake and your most hated remake?"
It's tough. Favorite horror movie remake, Dawn of the Dead 04. Hated? I don't know. You guys got any?
I'm gonna say Poltergeist. I really hated the Poltergeist remake. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, my most loved remake, probably the Texas Chainsaw one. I really love that one.
Yeah, that one's a good one. I'm gonna say Last House on the Left or Black Christmas.
Favorite
Last House?
I'd go to The Thing, would probably be my favorite, with Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead. I think are all great. My least favorite, Day of the Dead, was pretty bad. And
I forgot about that. Nick Cannon, right?
Yeah.
And he's a vegetarian zombie or something stupid.
It's bad.
Hey, we also forgot another one for worst, Pet Cemetery.
Oh yeah,
That one's
I
pretty
agree.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street too, of course.
Nah, it aged better.
Come on.
I mean, it still wasn't very good.
I didn't love it either.
Come on. It's better than Halloween Kills.
Oh boy.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
It's way better than Halloween Kills.
All right. How do you feel about them making Michael Myers not Laurie's brother in the last movie? Will Michael always be her brother to you, or does it matter one way or another?
I didn't like that they changed it. I think they should have just left it at that because it makes more sense, right? Of like why he's stalking her, because otherwise it's like, why the fuck is he still coming after her 40 years later? Which they do kind of address that though in this one. They're like, he really doesn't give a fuck about you, Laurie. Like he's just he's like, the doctor's the one that brought him to you. Like, so it's really, you've been hiding out for 40 years, waiting for him when he really hasn't given a total fuck
That's
about you.
why you shouldn't hang on to
So it's
grudges.
like, right.
So go
sorry.
live your life.
So Hawkins is like, get over yourself, Laurie, in this one, which, by the way, I did like the Hawkings character. I think he's one of the better parts of this movie. For me personally, I did kind of like him.
He's like, hey, Laurie, after this, you want to come over to my house?
Help my friend out and make it a double.
My leg's broken. Did I like it or not like it? I think I remember saying I didn't care when 2018 came out, but then I agree with Joe. Like, it makes more sense for him to be obsessed because it's his sister. It makes it more scary too. Like, oh fuck, your brother wants to kill you. Ooh. So yeah, I think he'll always be brother and sister for me.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah, same for me as well. I accept it for these movies, but it would have been way better, I think, if they kept that part of the continuity. And honestly, I don't even really know why they took it out. Like, was that
why
big of a
did they do that? Especially with it being from the original. It's like you can't have little bits of it and then
right? That they announced that's why. It's because they never said in the first one.
Yeah, it's never said in the first movie.
So it being in the second didn't count. I think that's why they did it. But
yeah, they didn't want to retcon the second movie like whatsoever. Like,
right.
They could have easily though done it.
They could have. Yeah.
He just gets captured at the hospital. And
that's right. Exactly.
Right.
After he rampages. Yeah.
Well, because I totally missed that part that they were like, that I was supposed to know that Michael wasn't her brother, because when they were chasing the small guy, I'm like, why aren't they listening to Laurie? Like, if I heard her say that's not him, I'd be like, guys, everyone shut the fuck up. She fucking knows it's her brother. So I totally missed that.
So, and doing my little fanfic here, which obviously didn't happen, but this movie, I thought when she went to the hospital and everything, that they were essentially going to make Halloween 2 by having Michael go to the hospital and slaughter people there. And that would have played into maybe do the last one, Halloween 3, do something with the masks and have Silver Shamrock somehow
that would
involved,
have been cool.
To like unknowingly, they were essentially remaking 1, 2, and 3 without us knowing.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine what the fan base would think if they tried to like put 3
but
in.
I do wish that
Michael not a remake of 3, but just to like involve it somehow. Just
just like
they're putting the masks in
little
there.
kiss
right.
to it.
No, exactly. With the masks in this one, and then escalate a little bit with the. All right. So her last question: what is your ranking of the Halloween movies from favorite to least favorite?
Oh boy,
I'll go.
Go for it.
You go. I need to go get my pen.
Okay, so this is just right now in the moment of how I would want to watch them if I wanted to watch. This is okay. Sometimes it changes, and sometimes Season of the Witch is a lot higher, but today is a little bit lower. So this is what I have from. Should I do it to 1 to 10 or 10 to 1?
She said 1 to 10. So
all right, makes it easy for me. So I'm going with the original Halloween, Halloween 2. Halloween 4, and then 5, which is Return of Michael, H2O, Season of the Witch, Resurrection, Halloween RZ1, RZ2, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and then last is Curse of Michael Myers.
Very nice. All right, I got mine right here. It's going to be the original Halloween followed by Halloween 3, Rob Zombie's Halloween, Halloween 2018, Halloween 2 original, H2O, Part 6, 4, 5, Rob Zombies Part 2, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Resurrection.
All right. So I got Halloween, Halloween 3, Halloween 2, Halloween 2018, Halloween H2O, Rob Zombie's Halloween, Halloween Kills, Halloween 4, Halloween 6, Halloween 5, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and finally Halloween Resurrection at the end.
Okay, I'm just gonna pull this one on my ass because I wasn't prepared.
Resurrection deserves better, Steve and Todd.
I'll rewatch it. I just can't get over Busta Rhymes.
Come on, it's so
I can't.
fun.
I can't.
What? Come on, trick or treat, motherfucker. All right, so we're going best to worst, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so original Halloween, Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, Halloween H2O, Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween Resurrection, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I think I put them. Oh, wait, I forgot Halloween Kills. I'm sorry. All right, put Halloween Kills above Rob Zombie Halloween 2 and Resurrection, and that's where I'm at.
Where'd you
So
put
all of us but
2018?
Sam got Resurrection.
2018 is right above Halloween Kills.
Okay.
Where'd
I
you put
probably
Resurrection
forgot.
at, Sam? Pretty high?
I put it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A little bit
Okay.
higher, like in the
Yeah.
middle.
Lower middle, yeah.
Joe, you had Resurrection as number 10?
As my worst.
Yeah, I
You
think-
son of a bitch.
There's nothing worse than fucking Busta Rhymes doing karate. Well, I'm sorry.
Whatever.
I had Rob Zombie's. I'm sorry. I had Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 as my worst. Resurrection was 11.
Okay, I'll take it.
She'll allow it.
At least the only reason I give Resurrection a little bit more of a nod is because it has the found footage aspect.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Next question is from Elizabeth. What is everyone's favorite treat that comes out every year just for Halloween? Can be either food or drink.
Ooh, good question.
Orange
I gotta
Oreos,
go.
baby.
Yes,
They
What
taste
did
better.
Todd say?
Orange Oreos.
the Halloween Oreos.
Oh, yeah.
They just taste better.
I agree. I gotta go Shipyard Pumpkinhead. It's a really great pumpkin beer. Put that cinnamon sugar rim on the top there. Add a shot of vanilla vodka, and it's just heaven in a glass.
And I'm going to go with the basic bitch pumpkin spice from Starbucks.
There's no actual food that is Halloween only that I'm looking forward to, but I like that our chocolate bars get scary packaging and names. Like our coffee crisp becomes coffin crisp. Our Kit Kats is Kit Kat, but with a cat on it, and our arrow is Scarrow. So it's I just like that kind of theming around this
How
time of year.
fun.
All right. Next question is from Nick. What did you think of the decision to bring back multiple original characters after seeing them, were they all necessary or overkill? I think we pretty much all agree that it was overkill.
Yeah, overkill big time. It was a good idea, I guess, in theory, but it just did not work.
Not an overkill for me, but I don't think it was necessary to tell the story, but I get why they were there.
If you had to keep one, which one would it be from this movie? Like obviously Laurie from the 1 4, but from this movie, if you can only keep
a
one.
person?
Yeah.
Oh, Lindsay.
I'd keep them all and just have a support group, like a quick meeting where Laurie goes in. She's like, you know what? You guys fucking suck, and just leaves. I think that would have been enough fan service for me.
Yeah.
And not cast Michael C. I'll just cast the original dude again.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, well, Lindsay should be coming back. I mean, she's the only one that survived, I think. God, they fucking killed everybody. So we'll see what Lindsay has to do. I don't know if she'll be an integral part of the third movie or not, but maybe she'll help Laurie kill Michael. Oh, Michael kill them.
Right. Please. Hope so.
You used to babysit me when I was a kid, and you took care of me. I'll take care of you. And
fuck up, Tommy.
Yeah. God, that was a terrible dialogue in this film. Next one from Jared. Which kill was your favorite? Mine was Big John's.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, Michael's just the MVP of this movie. All the kills are fucking great. I'm gonna go with the kill of Lenny Clark, who some of you might know. He's a famous Boston comedian. So it was great. It was funny to see him in this movie, but he's the one that Michael, he breaks into the house with the drone and then he just keeps fucking putting the knives in his back. That was just brutal.
Yeah, that made me sad.
Yeah, it was like kind of not Michael, right?
Mm.
Usually he
Yeah,
just
I mean,
fucking
because
gives up.
usually he just kills and moves on, like whereas that was like he was like really just being fucking brutal. For no
That was
reason.
Rob Zombie right there.
It was, yeah, definitely.
I liked, well, I shouldn't say like, but the one that like was scary to me was, is his name Cameron Todd?
Yes, boyfriend.
The boyfriend. Yeah, like holy fuck, especially in the theater again, and that fucking sound, like the vibration of every time Michael was like slamming his neck in the railing, like holy shit. And especially when he raises him up and then like smashes him down, like shit. And I do think that he should have ripped his head off, because I'm like, considering everything that you just did to this guy's neck, you're gonna give him a little neck twist to finish him off. Like, I don't know.
Commit
I
all
thought
the way, Michael. Commit all the way.
yeah. Yep.
I'm with Sam on that. That was well deserved because we all hated him from the first movie, or at least disliked him for being a little prick. And then, yeah, like that was the only, besides the old man getting stabbed a bunch of times, that was the only kill I was like, damn, he's fucking like not stopping. So yeah, Cameron's my choice too.
The Big John kill was pretty brutal too when he gouges like his fucking eyes out.
Yeah, but then the next scene, like his fucking head's fine.
I
I
didn't
was like,
notice.
come on, man.
To me, the most brutal kill was the one with the light bulb, like the fluorescent light bulb. That was really cool. I actually saw the same kill practically in a movie called Seance just yesterday, which was interesting. But
Who
my
did it better?
Seance.
Oh,
we saw Seance.
Seance.
That's like that 90s type movie with like all the girls.
Yeah, it's
that,
like a girls reform school or no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You liked it. I didn't like it.
I did like it. Yeah.
And I was in the middle. So, but my favorite kill, because it made me laugh, was when the nurse/doctor, because she's dressed as a nurse but is actually a doctor, shoots herself in the face because of the door like closing on it. I laughed so
hated
hard.
that. I was like, God
Terrible.
damn it, girl.
Hey,
Yeah.
back to that. Tommy is so irresponsible. He gives like these kids guns,
Yeah.
and like Allison, who's a senior in high school, gives her a sawed-off shotgun. I'm like, that's gonna blow out her fucking arms, man. What are you doing?
Small
That's
town.
another rant done.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one has a gun at the fucking showdown. Okay.
We didn't even
Right.
mention, but like the fucking cop with the cowboy hat is like so useless in this movie too. Like they brought him back, but like why? Like
Yeah,
Oh,
he's just there.
the black cop from the first one,
yeah,
who you thought was gonna be like, oh, he's gonna go throw down with Michael in the
Yeah.
second one. No,
and he doesn't do a
He's
he's
damn
a big
thing.
dude. Let's
No.
fight. Like,
He's biding
I
his time for
assume-
part 3.
all right.
That's what I'm
if he
saying.
doesn't,
Like I assume he's gonna have some sort of like arc or redemption angle in the third one.
If
Like
he
he has
they're
to, right?
holding on to
'Cause
him.
he's been there
Yeah.
for 2 movies and
if
technically
he
did
doesn't
nothing.
fist fight Michael, I'm gonna be so disappointed. 'Cause he's a big dude. I want to see it happen. Come
Oh,
on.
do you want like a Jason Takes Manhattan thing where Michael's just gonna like
Yes,
bang
yes,
his
I
head
do.
off?
Yes, I do. And then take his hat and put it on, and it's Michael Myers' hat.
That'd be
Oh my
hilarious if they like
God,
recreated
Todd.
that scene and he just
Oh, it'd be
Michael
great.
just hits his head off.
Jared's last question. Do you think Tommy Doyle's character was necessary? I feel like once he formed the mob, his character just got lost within it. Now we talked about the first part already, but do you guys feel that once the mob happened, that his character kind of just disappeared into the crowd and wasn't as impactful or important?
No, I think he was like leading the mob, so like I think I don't think he kind of disappeared into it. Like I think he was still like leading it and the head of it. I might not have liked that angle, but I mean I think he was like always like front and center.
Yeah, I agree. Was it needed? No.
I agree.
All right. Next series of questions from Chuck, Captain Amazing 85. What would be your awful weapon you'd bring to the beatdown? Thinking about the Iron Lady.
Hey, if I wouldn't want to get hit with a fucking iron though, like straight up, a paperback.
I didn't
book.
even I didn't catch the iron on first watch at all, but I love that like it became a internet meme.
Yeah, we need to get her at a con stat.
Oh, definitely. 100% will happen at some point.
Yeah, I walk around with my Kindle a lot, the e-reader. So I'm gonna go with Kindle, and I'm gonna throw it at him, and it weighs like 3 ounces, so it's not gonna do anything.
I guess a slice of pizza. I'll bring my slice of pizza and I'll throw it at him.
Grease in the eye might be effective.
Could be.
Wait, what was the question? What are we bringing to fight Michael?
Stupidest
what
weapon.
awful
What
weapon.
yeah.
Nachos for Sam.
I'll bring my nebulizer, my breathing machine.
Choke him out
There
with
you
it.
I'll spray him like that firefighter did with that weak ass water hose.
Dude, how stupid was that? At least
I'm
turn it up.
Yeah, turn it up. He could have been blown away. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they use them in riots all the time, and people fly across the street. Like,
Right. And we
Shoot
have
him-
these
shoot him
and
in
there's
the head.
there's 13 firefighters and they all just decide to fight them one at a time where they could have just circled them and
they could have
Right.
literally axed him to death.
right. Yeah. I mean, firefighters are pretty motherfucking tough. Like
They're fucking strong. They have to be.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm gonna call you out on this one. But one time I was at her house a long time ago, and we heard like a banging coming from another room, and she grabs the fucking
no.
salt, like the salt shaker. And I'm like, what the hell are you gonna do with that, Grandma?
throw it in his eyes.
throw it in his eyes. Yes, any
She's
little
like salt shaking
distraction
in his
helps.
eyes.
And the little salt shaker,
It's like
come on.
mace. You take the lid off.
No, Steve, you grab him, and she
Right.
salt shakes his eyeballs.
Yeah.
Go,
I'll
Grandma.
never- I'll
Shout out
never
to Steve's
forget
grandma.
it. Yeah.
She was gonna fucking John Wick his ass and then use the salt to season them and eat them.
Maybe. Oh my god, I laughed so hard. Turns out it was just a picture that fell off to the wall. But anyway, that made me think of that moment right there.
Hey, Grandma was ready to throw down, dude.
Yeah, probably.
Salt shaker or not?
Yeah, she's about to expose her secret agent past and all right, Chuck's next question. What are your thoughts on the theory that the mask is actually a product of the Silver Shamrock, and that's what makes him evil? Sets up Tom Atkins coming in for the third movie and making Season of the Witch canon.
You better fucking not, because that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah. don't do
Michael
that.
is pure evil. What other explanation do we need? We don't.
Right.
He's evil. No masks or magical. Part 3 is amazing, but it's a standalone film. That's it. That's my stance. Please.
I
Don't
mean
do
that is some fan fiction right there for sure. So it wouldn't surprise me after watching this movie that they would try it. But yeah,
Yeah.
no. I mean, bring Tom Atkins in. That could be like a really fun cameo, just as like a random person. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
having
like they
nothing
do
to do
Stephen
with, yeah.
King.
Yeah, exactly. Like that could be fun. But yeah, please don't do that. I agree with Todd. Like Michael is just pure evil. We don't need a reason of why
it
he's
takes it
doing
all
this.
away if it's just a mask.
Right.
It ruins it. They
Mhm.
can't do that, because then you know exactly what they're gonna do is someone's gonna put that mask on, whether it's Allison or that's
Yeah.
her name, granddaughter, and then I'm the new Michael Myers because I have a mask. Like no. Or maybe it's Tommy because he's fucking crazy anyway.
Well, he's dead. So.
Oh, he's dead.
Or,
I keep forgetting
or
that.
we think he's dead, but who knows?
Well,
Bob
Hawkins got
was dead
stabbed. Let me
too. Yeah,
go back to my
right.
last point. 5 times and ran over, and he's fine.
That is a good point. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring Tommy back some way
Hey,
somehow.
Real quick, sorry to divert. I thought the podcasters were gonna come back. I know the girl was clearly dead, but the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
could have lived. He got beamed, but he was still alive at when she was getting killed. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
ugh.
I can't remember if I don't remember their fate. He survived. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe,
maybe.
probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, he could have been like a doctor just in the hospital, honestly, Tom Atkins, and that would have been just a cool nod to Halloween 3, you know, maybe hitting on a nurse or something, just to bring back that movie. But no, I agree. Like, I am afraid they could do this, but I don't think they should. I mean, bring Silver Shamrock if you want as a company, just as a nod, but don't make it a whole thing. And his last question, Sam Stein, what's the food pairing?
What did we have in the movie?
Hospital chicken nuggets and a random drug that she inserts in herself.
Bar food.
Pretzels.
I'm trying to think of what he ordered when he was at the bar. It was like a scary zombie drink or something like that.
He did. Yeah, zombie dust. I think it was like an IPA beer.
Oh, I thought it was like a cocktail. I don't know. I'm at a loss for this one.
I'm gonna say toasted marshmallows in honor of Michael's mask.
Oh, I love that, Joe.
Thank you. And
Michael,
can I just do?
With a
do-
painkiller cocktail in
There you
honor
go.
of Lori stabbing her
Yeah.
ass with a needle.
And we didn't mention this, but Michael's mask looks awesome.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
Michael's
yeah.
look in general, he looks
He
fantastic
looked
in this
fucking
movie.
great.
Are you
Yeah.
joking? Michael looked so, not to be a psycho, but he looked so hot. Like he was so fucking fit and trim in his fucking coveralls. I was like, what is the workout? an eating plan, sir, because you look great.
He does a lot of standing at the hospital, so that's builds up your quads.
Did you
It's
guys
good
feel
to-
feel
Go ahead.
bad for Michael when he was like circled around the mob when his mask was off?
I
And then
felt bad that this movie was so terrible at that point.
All
I
right,
was-
Todd. All right, Todd. And
No,
then-
I actually did, and I said this to Sam. I was like, why did I feel bad for a guy who's so fucking terrible? But it's
that means
like,
they did a good job.
I
But
guess.
then when he grabbed them, I felt sad. But then when he grabbed the mask, I kind of smirked, and I was like, okay, I need to calm down. I'm supposed to be on the other team.
Yeah, it's because he's, even though he's the villain, he's the hero to us in a lot of ways, just because we are so used to him. And I had this question actually for Sam before we go into the next question. I have a question for you guys. Do you think Michael is the face of horror, Michael Myers?
I think he is now. I don't
Yeah.
think he was 10 years ago. I think Freddy or Jason would have been the face of horror, but Friday the 13th has been in limbo because of rights issues. Nightmare on Elm Street hasn't had really anything come out in the last, there was a remake, but other than that, nothing else. Michael, has been showing up for, look, this stat fucking just scared me to my core, just how crazy it is. Jamie Lee Curtis has played Laurie Strode for 6 decades. Like, that's crazy when you think about it, but that shows how many fucking Halloween films there have been. And yeah, I think now he is the face of horror.
I think I agree 100%. I think Pennywise kind of stepped in for a couple years there because he was super popular with the latest one.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think that, Michael represents the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now the 2020s. It's like crazy so yeah, I think he absolutely is the face of horror.
Definitely. And it helps too because Jamie Lee, like everyone loves her so much, and she's still like such a great person, and she's still working. I mean, maybe there's other people from the other franchises working, but no one that I know or care about. Who?
Just John Carpenter.
Robert
pretty
who?
much.
No,
Robert
no
who?
one, no one, no one.
Robert who?
There's
England.
sorry.
And
There's
Kane
no one,
what?
There's no one
Otter.
that touches Jamie Lee. Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, but she hasn't done like an alien movie, like
That's
it's like Jamie Lee has always been there. Like, even though she did kind of go away for a while and was trying to get away from horror,
She
but
dissed it for a while there.
She did.
Yeah, but she
then-
finally leaned into it. Like that's what you have to
Right.
do.
She's
And
like, "Oh,
if
we
you
bring
like
how much money?"
if you appreciate the fans, like you literally, just
Mhm.
take some notes down, people. Okay, embrace your horror job that you got. Okay,
We need
'Cause
more
we'll help you pay your
Damians.
rent.
We need more Damians.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Humble.
Next question is from Odd Job versus 007. Almost to the end of the year, what is everyone's biggest disappointments so far and or surprises?
Mm.
Yeah, this has been not a great year for horror.
Not at all.
I don't think it's been quite a disappointing year. It's probably one of the worst years I can remember in quite some time. We only got a couple months left, so I don't think it's gonna get much better. As far as biggest disappointment, I'm gonna go with The Conjuring 3.
I'm gonna go with Spiral just because Saw is like one of my favorites, and I was really counting on that to be up there with Halloween and Candyman, but it just was not. But I haven't seen too many, so I don't know. I'm going with Spiral.
I'm going with this movie tonight because I had so much riding on it. Like
Oh
an
my
end of the
God.
year release, a big release, and then we had Big John, Little John for 30 minutes. No, it's terrible. Sorry, Sam.
Okay, you want to deal with Spiral over this?
Both of them suck, but I think. Oh, if we had to compare the two, I think Spiral. They're both bad. I don't know
Yeah.
for different reasons. But I just had so much hope for this movie,
It's fine. I'll just be over here wiping my tear off my
Sorry,
face.
apologize.
I'm with Joe with my disappointment. Conjuring 3 is by far my biggest disappointment this year because I hold 1 and 2 in such high regard that 3 was just a huge misstep. My biggest surprise of the year would probably be Army of the Dead because it didn't look great when I first saw the trailers and everything, even though I love Zack Snyder's other zombie film, being Dawn of the Dead. I didn't have high hopes for this one and I really enjoyed it. So that's my biggest surprise of the year. But yeah, man, 2021, I was just talking about on the Discord. I've watched 62 films in
Easy, Steve.
62 2021
That's a lot.
films so far, and
Oh.
I'm still not happy with my top 10. Like I look
Yeah.
at my top 10, I'm like, ugh, Like
My top
why?
10 has a lot of 7s in it. So,
Yeah, it's just like I'm looking like why is Godzilla versus Kong still there? It shouldn't be, but
Yeah.
it's been a pretty bad year. So hopefully, and there's not much left. Like Antlers, Last Night in Soho, maybe Lamb if I can find it. Ghostbusters probably my biggest hope now. Yeah, not a great year.
Yeah, I heard Lamb's like not even horror either.
Yeah, I heard
it's
that too.
mainly just a
Really?
drama. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll still watch
I heard
it.
it's like a drama. Last Night in Soho is like my last hope, I think. Like
Yep.
that's the one man, did you guys get trailers? Like by the way, Black Phone. I don't know if we talked about last week, but that movie looks fucking great. It's
Yeah.
coming out next year, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, I got some good trailers with the movie. Last Night in Soho, I got Ghostbusters. I
That's
got
great.
there's a lot of good stuff. All right. So the last series of questions here for tonight are from Rinfa. What are your personal theories about Michael Myers' supernatural powers? Do they come from his mask?
No, he's evil.
It's just
pure evil.
Especially Todd, you just rewatched 2018. There's something with the mask. Like there's
They're
some
going
kind of
for that.
attention. Yeah, so I think
they're
that's
trying.
where they might be going to. And that's why it kind of lends credence to maybe somehow Silver Shamrock's involved because it is mask.
I
They
hope they
seem to be
don't do
putting a
that.
lot of power into that mask for some reason.
My biggest
I think it's just so they can make money and sell the mask more.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it every movie.
my biggest no for them doing part 3 is because it's not big mainstream wise. It's only big in the horror community, and Michael Myers is like huge everywhere. So I don't if they're really pandering to the audience, going part 3 is not going to work because no one knows it but us, right?
Most people hate part 3 too. Like
and then
I
the
know
horror
it's
fans
like,
hate, yeah.
yeah.
Love
So
that
it just
fucking
doesn't
movie.
make sense to me. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they could go that angle and do it right. I just don't know what they could do for it. I mean, they did keep like obviously we got Michael like unmasked in this movie for a little bit. And then so I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
He unmasks a lot in the series when you really like
Yeah.
look at it, more than people seem to remember. I don't know. Like, are they going to? I hope they don't try to over-explain the superpowers, like Todd said before, because that did not work out well in part 6. That didn't work out well. Like, it never works out well.
Yeah.
If they start going into fucking cults and symbols and shit like that, like I'm out. Like that's
it's just not necessary. Like it's scarier when there's not like a backstory, right? Like
less is more for Michael.
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
It's scarier when there's no motive.
Yeah, he's just fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he just doesn't give a shit. Like
yeah.
But he's also like obviously super powered because I mean,
right,
nothing's killing him. So, but I don't need to know. I really don't need to know. I just
cares.
Yeah,
he could be the devil or fall, like whatever.
Right, exactly. His next question: where do you think about the subplot about Judith Myers' window? Was it necessary?
I mean, no. Like, I don't even get like what is the subplot that he just stood at her window? Like, I don't get like what else there was to do with it.
I think they're really trying to be deep with it, like the window's a metaphor because his mind is like he's gazing into the world he can never be a part of. Like I think they're really trying to go somewhere like that. But once again, it's like another added thing to the canon. Like, where's this coming from? Like I didn't get it.
Well, you got to remember though, Todd. Like this is a direct sequel from like the first. There's only 2 movies exist right now, right? So
you're
like,
right.
there's no canon technically.
It's so hard to forget all that shit though.
It is, yeah, no, it totally is. So I mean, they can pretty much do whatever they want. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was necessary. I don't know why it like even got thrown in there because like I don't feel like it went nowhere really. It just set up the last kill, right? Like it set up the kill of Karen. But other than
how
that,
did Michael
like,
get across the town
necessary.
to get to Karen when everybody's out?
Out front?
I don't think it was across the town. I think it was just like the
Across the street,
next
at
block
least.
over, like 5 streets over. I don't think it was necessary either. Watching it, I wasn't trying to figure out like what's the deep meaning behind it. I was just like, oh, it's his house. That's what he knows. It's Halloween. He comes home. Like, God, stop
the
trying
night
to
he
shove
came
this
home.
down my throat.
Seriously, the night he came home, that's all we need to know. He's going home.
Like,
He's fucking crazy.
I agree. Pointless.
I'm so mad at this movie, honestly. Like, there's so
Todd.
much. I'm sorry I've been ranting the entire episode, but Michael's so easy to do. He's just like, he's a mindless killing machine. Loomis said it. We don't need anything else. We don't need to look through windows. We don't need magic masks. He's Michael Myers and he's indestructible. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Next question. What's in the water in Haddonfield that made every character act so stupidly the whole movie?
I don't know. Blame the writing. And I don't know. I mean, do we blame the director too? Do we blame David Gordon Green? I am not
blame
excited.
them all. Yeah.
You have to blame them all. Yeah, at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
Blame the studio. Blame fucking everybody. Blame Jamie
will
Lee
say
for saying it was a good story.
I'm certainly not excited for David Gordon Green's Exorcist trilogy now.
Why would he get
seeing-
3 movies?
Oh.
I don't
Why would
know.
he
I
get-
mean,
it's so,
maybe he should go and do something original instead of like rebooting like horror franchises. You know?
Yeah. Well, he knows that the I don't know. Just
I mean, it's Jason Blum, right? Like he knows it's gonna make money, so it's safe.
it's
exactly.
easy. Yeah, because they know the
Easy.
horror community will spend whatever, see whatever, do whatever. Like
I mean,
come on,
and we
guys.
will,
Yeah.
though.
I'll be first in line to watch
I'm like,
Ends.
Exorcist,
Right.
hell yeah! Like I'm down. Let's do it.
Right.
And then we're gonna watch it and be like, "What the fuck was that?"
Right.
Yeah,
You
then
know-
I'm gonna play back the clip where Joe says, "We're a lot smarter than they think we are."
Exactly.
hey, when Halloween Kills comes out, I'm gonna be stoked for it. So, or Halloween Ends. Halloween
yeah.
Ends. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That's just the way we are. That's,
Yeah. I'll get over it.
Right.
I actually forgot that there was going to be a Halloween Ends. Like when Halloween Kills started, I started getting teary-eyed because I was like, this is it. Like I'm not going to see Jamie Lee promoting this movie anymore. Like the universe is done. And I was just so sad the whole time. And I'm like, what am I living for now? And then when we walked out, Joe talked about Halloween Ends and I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot. I was like, yay, there's going to be another movie. So there's a reason to live now.
At least for another year, right? Comes out
Yep.
next year. Oh no, they didn't film it yet.
They haven't even filmed it, so
Yeah.
They said
I think it is
October,
coming out
but
next year,
yeah.
though. Yeah.
Better
Next
hurry up.
year?
That's not good. Like if they're gonna rush it out for next year, like,
well, it's not like they
we'll
got big CGI to do or anything. So
see. Yeah.
if they do it in January, they finish it in March. They have time to pull it off.
Yeah.
By October.
I mean, I guess Scream kind of did that too, you know, like they filmed earlier this year and it's coming out
Yeah.
February.
like in
So
2 months. Yeah.
last question of the night. How do you feel about the potential 4-year time jump from Halloween Kills to Halloween Ends?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's what's
it is.
happening. Yeah.
Oh, that's a legit thing.
Yeah, the director, David Gordon Green confirmed that it is going to be a 4-year time
4
jump. So
years?
yeah, because it's this
Uh.
movie takes place in 2018, so now we'll be in present day 2022, which is the year the movie comes out.
So now we're gonna have more fucking stories of where Michael was for 4 years. Like,
Apparently, yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
think I was talking to this about Sam tonight. I was like, it would have made more sense just to continue it on the same night, so you would have 3 movies in one night, right? Like, I don't feel it's necessary to do a 4-year time jump. Because now, yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to explain what happened to Michael like after that night. Like, obviously, like I'm sure Laurie will go into a depression because they killed her daughter. And I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't love the idea, but I'm intrigued to see what they do with this 4-year time jump.
I think if they made a third movie for the same night, I just think it would have been too jumbled because look at all of the chaos that was in Halloween Kills just from the 2 hours from the last movie, you know? So it's like what? They're going to show us what happened from 3:15 in the morning to 11:37 later on in that morning.
everyone's
Like,
just sleeping.
yeah, I don't think much will
Michael's
get
taking a nap in a
resolved.
doghouse.
It doesn't need to be a 4-year jump, but I'm fine either way.
Yeah, so I can predict what's going to happen here.
Let's hear it.
So Laurie is going to be distraught. She's going to be afraid of Michael. So she's going to buy some cabin. She's going to weaponize that cabin. She's going to do target practice for every day. And then these 2 podcasters are going to come in and they're going to interview her about it. And then Michael's going to attack. And then
And
she's
it
going to.
all starts over.
And then
Exactly.
Laurie wakes up and it's just all been a dream.
Yeah, exactly. God.
Michael is her brother.
Right, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
She wakes up in the bed of Halloween 2 and starts like.
Hawkins is like, never mind.
Yeah, actually, that's actually, I guarantee that's what's gonna happen. Hawkins and Laurie are gonna be like in a relationship now,
Well, they're
And, like,
they're
they're-
alluding
and
to
they're
fucking
gonna-
earlier too.
and they're gonna fight Michael like together to finally like
Yeah.
end it all.
That's
Do you
true,
think
they
that's
were-
what's gonna happen? Is Laurie gonna kill him or is he gonna kill Laurie?
They're
How
both
is
gonna
this gonna
die.
end?
They're
They're
gonna-
both gonna die
Because
together.
there was a line in this movie, wasn't there, that she has to die to kill him or something. They said they I forget because I saw in theaters and I couldn't write notes, but they alluded to the fact that she's going to die in the next one, or she needs to die in the next one to truly kill him. So yeah, that's what's going to end up happening probably.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later, we're going to get another
Yeah.
Halloween. It's
Of
going to be
course.
called Halloween Granddaughter. And it's
Halloween returns, baby.
just...
Halloween
It'll
returns.
just be called Halloween again, and then we'll have 4 movies
2026.
called Halloween.
Oh my
Yeah, because I
gosh.
mean, Jamie Lee Curtis gonna want to say I was in Halloween in 7 decades when we hit 2030. So
Yeah, they'll remake H2O.
right, exactly.
Oh,
All right, you guys ready to rate this bad boy?
Ooh, I wasn't even thinking of that. Sure.
Do it.
I'm super low. I'm at a 1.5 out of 5.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Or
God.
a 3.5 out of 10. This movie is terrible. It's the biggest letdown of the season for me. These filmmakers butchered it, and this Rob Zombies is loads better than this, including part 2. So
Ooh,
I
I
hate
like
this movie.
that.
Yeah, part 2 grew on me from Rob
Worst in the
Zombie.
franchise?
Second worst.
Second
Resurrection
worst.
still has the worst because I fucking hate the rap angle and the kung fu angle and the Tyra Banks angle. I hated all that shit. So at least this one had great kills. So. And Michael.
Yeah. Here's a question though. Do you think we're being too hard on a movie that is the 12th movie in a horror franchise?
No, because it's technically the second in a reboot.
Right.
So
Yeah, but still, what else can they do? Like,
they can put their own spin on it.
if everyone's so tired of it, sign a petition. Stop seeing these movies. Demand them. You're so smart, so demand them to write a better story for you.
I'm not tired of the
you, Todd.
movies. I know what you mean. I'm not tired of the movies. I'm just like, I think we all agree that the corny shit was like unnecessary, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I know Sammy enjoyed it more, and that's fine. But it's like,
because I'm corny.
No, good night.
But I get what
like
you're
not
saying.
looking at it as like a critical eye, like where I'm like, this is the recipe is easy. It's just like with Jason, Michael, Freddy, it's all super easy. And when you try to throw some weird shit in there, it's like, why? You have a working plot already. Michael wants to kill somebody, let's kill him. But like adding this bullshit in there is like,
yeah. And I agree. I don't think we are being too critical on a movie that is the 12th in a horror franchise, because most 12th movies in a horror franchise doesn't have this kind of budget. And this movie has had a massive budget, had good writers behind it, good directors. And for the most part, they dropped the ball, I think, especially, just the writing and the dialogue in this, and the direction they took was just the wrong choice for me. But like I said, Michael is the saving grace. In a slasher movie, like I said, the kills are what is the most important, and they delivered for me in this one. So, for me, this falls, in the middle, like, of the Halloween franchise. It's certainly not the worst. It's not the best. So I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Sammy
I
dropping an 8.5
I just feel like that girl that just shot herself in the face.
I think that's fair.
No, it is.
I think you're too generous from where you shit
Todd.
on this one so much. I was thinking you were like a 5 at least, or at max. But hey, whatever.
I would watch it.
You started
again.
at like a 7 or an 8 this weekend.
I did. Walking out of the theater, Todd, I was at like a 7.5, 8. And then like the more I thought of, but that's because it was like I was in the theater and just like watching Michael go fucking ape shit and stuff. Like I loved it. And then
but then you have all these breaks. Like...
Right. And then I watched it again and I was like, oh man, like, you take off those rose colored glasses and you start seeing all of the shit that you didn't see the first time around. And yeah, so like I said, the kills were awesome, and that's the most important thing in a slasher, which is why I'll give it that.
Yeah, your ranking went down, my ranking went up. I had it a half star, and then to 1 star, and then now it's at 1.5, and that's my final star rating.
This is tough. I really don't know what to rank it. I'm gonna give it.
Don't give in to the peer pressure. Like just whatever.
If you loved it, you loved it.
If you loved it, you loved it. Yeah.
I hated it, but
I loved it, but there were some parts about it and some of the story and stuff like that. But it was a fun ride. I do wish that Lori was in it more. That's the only thing I really hated. So I'm going to give it right now. I'm going to give it an 8.5, I guess.
Ooh, that's the top 10 for sure for you.
Yeah.
For sure. 8.5 is high.
So yeah, once again, I spent most of the podcast shitting on this film, but overall, there's still a solid 30 minutes of this that I absolutely fucking loved. And there's all, if I compare it to a lot of movies on my list, there isn't 30 minutes that I loved as much as I did this movie. So I give it a 7. It's not one of my favorites, but I would still watch it again. And I thoroughly enjoyed those 30 minutes. I just wish the other hour and 10 minutes were as good, but it wasn't the worst. I still had fun watching it. And I'd still, like I said, I'd watch it again. And that's a high praise for me with the amount of movies that are out there. So 7.
I worry, Steve, that you put it so high it's because you watched all these fucking terrible Tubi originals. Of course, Bambi and Kendra or whatever is going to be, it's going to be like, man, Halloween Kills is a masterpiece.
Yeah, no, it's not even near my top 10 or anything, but still, I enjoyed it. So,
I mean,
if you liked it, at the end of the day, as long as you had a good time, right?
yeah,
I had a great time watching it. I just didn't like the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was scared.
The way this year's going, it very well could make my top 10, honestly,
This one's sitting at number 4 in my bottom 5 right now. Currently.
Yeah. It definitely, I mean, to me, it wasn't bad enough to make like a bottom of the year or anything, but I mean, maybe it might sneak into number 10. The way I gotta look at I gotta see what I got in my list, but
oh boy,
I don't even know what the hell my number 1 is, honestly, this year. I mean, I have an idea, but I don't even know if I want to put it.
I got mine locked in.
Yeah.
See, I'm the same way as Joe. I have like one that's written in right now, but I'm not happy with it. So I'm hoping
same.
something takes it out.
Like last year, I knew Vivarium was gonna be my number 1 because I watched it 3 times.
Mhm.
Right.
This one, I'm like, yeah, I love fucking Bloody Hell and the other one that Joe liked. What was it?
It's
It's fun.
It's just fun, but like last year, it would have been at the bottom 10, and the year before that, it's like,
yeah,
right.
Fucking sucks, man.
Yep. Yeah, I think both of those are probably close to my top 5 or right
Those
around
are my
there.
top 5 for sure. Both of those.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
2 quick notes before we end the episode. Number 1, on October 30th at around 8:30 or 9 o'clock Eastern, I'm gonna do a little Horror Squad hangout over on Zoom. It is open to all Discord members, so if you'd like to join our Discord and then join the Zoom if you'd like, just shoot any of us a message and we'll send you the link to the Discord. And for the Zoom, I'll send the Zoom link on the Discord maybe 15 minutes to half an hour before the actual hangout. We had a lot of fun last time with the book club, so this time we'll just open up to movies and horror talk and celebrate a little Halloween together. I don't know how long it'll be. We'll kind of just play it by ear, but if you're available, come hang out. And the other one, I just want to give a huge shout out to horror fan Ryan, who wrote up this really amazing kind of review / promotion for our podcast over on the Mutant Fam Twitter account. Mutant Fam being they're people who follow The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy the Mail Girl. He wrote this really nice complimentary thing, and it reaches a lot of other horror fans. So I just really wanted to thank him. It was really, really awesome of him, and we really appreciate the support that he showed.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
I started following them too. It's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to give him a nice little shout out there. And we're also giving our good vibes to one of our listeners, Marla, going through some stuff. So, we're all big horror fans and we just want to support each other. So positive vibes going your way from all of us in.
Thinking of you, Marla.
Hang in there, girl.
Yes. That's it.
Also, guys, if you have the chance, I had the opportunity to have a little small segment on the Drew Barrymore show. As of right now, it's supposed to air Tuesday, October 26th. I was able to show just some of my favorite spots in Salem. They shared it on their social media, on Drew's social media not too long ago, but they're also going to do it on her show. So it's going to air on TV. So yeah, if you get a chance to check it out, let me know if you like it.
Good job, man. That's huge.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
We're so proud of you. It's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Just don't forget us when you you get to the top, yeah?
Oh, stop
Let's
it.
give you a horror squad with Drew Barrymore and Sam
Aw.
and Damien Maffei.
Next week, we're going to do a double header. We are going to be reviewing Rocky Horror Picture Show, and then each of us has picked a movie pick, and you guys will be voting on that. Steve's pick is Addams Family, the live action one. Joe's is Beetlejuice, and Todd's pick is
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh my God, that's a great one. And I am picking Under Wraps, the remake, the new one on Disney Plus. So we will post that and make sure you guys vote. And thank you so much for listening. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Evil dies tonight!